Hey, 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 Imago Day. Happy Saturday. I have just had a is epiphany the right word? I don't want to go so far as to I don't want to go so far as to say revelation. That's a loaded term right there. I think I have just hit the is punchline the wrong word to use? I think I've just hit on the 3 points well actually properly presented for the practice sermon I am workshopping. I think I like literally as I went live. I think I hit my 3 point Baptist sermon. It's all pithy. It all the points are easy to remember, and they whack the congregation in the head at the right time. The congregation has no choice but to agree with me until I address their problem. At which point they've already given me points 1 and 2. So I think, sorry, a lot of blabbing. I am doing a, I am, well, I mean, a lot of blabbing, says the man presently live streaming. Presently live streaming in the just chatting category. Yeah, a lot of blabbing. My goodness gracious. I am doing I'm doing a series at my church that is just kind of like seeing how those of us in kind of the men's ministry, going towards men's leadership, seeing if we can cut our teeth on preaching a sermon, or something like it. And what the exercise kind of takes the form is everybody in the group was given a hypothetical church body with a hypothetical church burden. My church, did I put that in my document that I'm looking at right now that would totally dox me if I shared it? Yes, so my church burden, the issue in my church body is the church is highly organized, financially affluent, and growing exponentially, yet weekly prayer meetings are empty. Church member meetings are well attended, but invariably reveal a collective desire to lean heavily on attracting human talent and implementing corporate growth strategies while lacking any true desperate dependence on the Holy Spirit. So what we've got here is a I don't want to. I don't want to assume uncharitable things about my about my prospective congregation, but what we're working with here is it feels very megachurchy. It feels very like let's get as many people in and out the doors as possible. We're getting huge. We're knocking it out with our finances. We are keeping the crowds moving through, but we are at the core of this church. The problem is a lack of spiritual dependency. So when I think about people that are making big displays for God, sometimes maybe not even with God's express permission, but God says, all right, I like the called shot. My mind immediately goes, so let's just say there are a lot of New Testament epistles I could go to make this point. There is some fantastic instructions and exhortations to prayer towards spiritual consideration that are all about the New Testament epistles, and that would be an easy way. That would be an easy way for me to convey the message I want to convey. I decided to make to I don't want to say challenge myself, because it was really more just that the for this particular topic, the Old Testament spoke to me more. Quite literally. I am if anybody is familiar, I would hope we are a bit. If anybody is familiar with the prophet Elijah, the passage I'm engaging for this hypothetical church burden for these people that seem to be putting a lot of emphasis on numbers and financial success and putting on a show, so to speak, I'm engaging with a passage on the prophet Elijah. I'm engaging not with the thing that everybody knows Elijah for, not for the engagement with the prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel. No, I am engaging the follow-up to that, when Elijah, despite putting on the probably one of the best shows in the history of the nation of Israel. My goodness gracious, one of the clearest displays of God's power and glory that he could put on. It doesn't work. Elijah had this expectation that God's on my side, and God, of course God was on Elijah's side. I'm going to have God call fire down, and the nation of Israel, through my ministry at that mountain, through the slaying of the prophets of Baal, through all of that, the nation of Israel is going to be shown who their God is once and for all. And that's not what we see happening. We instead see, hey Ian, nice to see you as well. Thanks for popping in. Instead of seeing that, what was I saying? What was I saying? Instead of seeing, my goodness gracious, instead of seeing Elijah's victory as a victory, instead of seeing Elijah doing this on Mount Carmel, and bam, Israel comes back to the true God, and everybody recognizes, what their sin has been, how wrong, how walking under the kingship of Ahab and Jezebel was terrible. That's not what happens. Instead, what happens is Jezebel threatens Elijah's life, and Elijah's like, I have to run. I have to get out of here, or I'm dead. I am as dead as the word Jezebel uses are, you will be as those prophets in the grave. I will make you like them, the ones you killed. So Elijah, at the end of this triumph, is rather faced with defeat. He was expecting to win. Stick it to him, and there we go. Everything that Elijah expected to happen happens. That's not what happens. We see Elijah flee out into the desert. We see Elijah depressed enough so that he wants to die, and then we see God bring Elijah to Mount Sinai. And that's the passage I am engaging with. So I've got a hypothetical church body that has problems with that is big on the spectacle, big on the show, but they have problems with actual spirit-led dependence, actual meaningful prayer, actually getting together, praying with each other, seeking out the Lord in those moments of quiet. And those moments of quiet, that still small voice, is the center of this passage that I am kind of engaging with for this hypothetical sermon. And so yeah, the structure is there. I've got my buttoned up, pithy-ish 3 Baptist points. Now I just need to build out the rest of the skeleton. But the points on the sermon, which again I literally arrived at these as I was going live. The first thing that I had to get myself out of the document and press the go live button, but not press the go live button, press the scene transition. I was working in the 10 minutes that I had for countdown, but the 3 points are: when things aren't going great, we go to God, right? When things aren't going great, we go to God. This is led, of course, by the question, where do we go when things aren't going great? That we bring the congregation into the understanding there. The verse and the verses around it are what Bible commentaries are made for sure. But what if I have my own ideas and I wanna yell about? No, yeah, I have been really in the commentaries. I've been in some of the sermons from the greats on this. Who has it? There was a Spurgeon had a really, really interesting take on this passage. Then the expositor's commentary has. Expositors goes, here's a note from the expositors. And after the fire, a still small voice. However, the rendering may be altered to a gentle murmuring sound, or, as in the Revised Version, a sound of gentle stillness. No expression is more full of awe and mystery than the original phrase, a still small voice. So expositors is talking about why we decided to translate the Hebrew there as a still small voice. It was the shock of awful stillness which succeeded the sudden cessation of the earthquake and hurricane and thunderstorm, and instantly, in its appalling hush and gentleness, Elijah felt that God was there, and he no sooner heard that voiceful silence speaking within him than he was filled with fear and self-abasement. He wrapped his face in his mantle, even as Moses was afraid to look upon God. He came from the hollow of the rock which had sheltered him amidst that turbulence of material forces, and stood in the entering in of the cave. Oh no, JB. I've become. Have I just been? Oh no! Don't promote me don't promote me to first monitor content, man. That's too big of a burden. Yeah. TLDR, I've got a hypothetical church body who are suffering with numbers, who are suffering with the idea of suffering, I should say. They are putting an emphasis on numbers, on human talent, on getting people moving through the church, over spiritful consideration. The prayer meetings are empty, and the congregation does not seem to be out seeking God. So I am using the passage from 1 Kings 19, where Elijah encounters God, not in the fire, not in the whirlwind, not in the earthquake, but in the still small voice, or I believe the Hebrew, like the most literal translation we can get of the Hebrew is a calm small. Stream stuff. So the Hebrew for that gentle blowing, the Hebrew for that still small voice was it literally, if we go down to roots, it is a calm small. It is Elijah wraps his mantle out after the earthquake, after the fire, after the storm, and it is a calm small that Elijah encounters. And how we translate this is, I mean, oh man, am I just shooting myself on the foot with okay, hang on. Am I just super duper shooting myself in the foot and going completely off script for this stream? I think I am. And maybe this is like just a good stream to do every week. Is the Renai works on his sermon on stream? Yeah, that's like incredibly attractive to me right now, and the wheels are turning. But let's pop on over to 1 Kings 19. So the Hebrew here, we don't need the Jacob. Well, we'll need the Jacob notes eventually. I still think I want to do the Jacob study. I'm having fun with Jacob. But right. So, said, go forth and stand on the mountain before the Lord, and behold, the Lord was passing by, and a great strong wind was rending the mountains and breaking in pieces the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of a gentle blowing. And again, the gentle here is demama. It is calm. So the after the fire, a calm what? A calm duck. Small, fine, thin, scarce, small, fine, or soft. So it is all of these catastrophic events happen. Elijah goes out of the cave and he is greeted. And again, it just tickles the brain. The way this concept is communicated is a small soft. It is not just a soft. It is not just a soft that Elijah encounters. It is a small soft. It is quiet, but it is there. And that is where the Lord is. The Lord is not in these. And I think the Lord is teaching Elijah a lesson here. I think the Lord is saying, hey, here's all of the spectacle. Here are all the great and mighty things that of course I can do because I am God. But I am, when, we hear man, now I'm getting preachy, which I guess is kind of the point. But, we hear the voice of God. Yeah, no worries, Ian. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. We hear the voice of God most clearly when we are not focused on the spectacle, right? When we are seeking him over seeking the numbers or the results that we want, right? And and I will of course be tying this to Christ, because what kind of a Christian sermon is it if I don't tie it to Christ? But we like Christ says, right? Seek the kingdom, and all of this will be added to you. And I'm sure I'm botching that. I need to memorize more verses, actually memorize more verses. Oh yeah. Yes. No. Ian is the username of a different gentleman who Ian is the username of a different gentleman whose real name I have forgotten, but I don't think it's Ian. Which that just speaks to how permanent the names we pick up over the names we give ourselves and the names we pick up over the internet. That just speaks to how powerful it is when we name ourselves. I have Clown Fishy 78. Welcome to stream. How's it going? We're talking I am off the rails. I'm talking about something. I am talking about the sermon that I'm putting together, the practice sermon, effectively, that I'm putting together for my men's ministry project, development, edification, something along that. Making breakfast while listening in. The church we're talking about is a church. Oh, there's several name changes in a year online, but yeah, that's the thing, man. I totally with you, but yeah, we're talking about a church that puts more focus on the numbers, on the spectacle, than they put on actual spirit-filled prayer and seeking God. We are using 1 Kings 19. I'm doing this over and over again. We are using the fact that God in this passage is not in all of those big things, not in the fire, not in the whirlwind, not in the earthquake, not in the shattering mountains. No, God is in the still small voice. That's why God brought Elijah to Horeb. And like other fun facts, in case anybody is not aware, Horeb is Sinai. Elijah is having this encounter with God, right? Elijah goes to this mountain, and any Jew worth their salt going to this mountain would understand that they are going to the mount of the presence of God. Like, that is where Elijah is having this encounter. He's not up on top like Moses was, which there's maybe some interesting implications there that I don't think would be relevant, but that's something to potentially study. And yeah, okay, so this is gonna be, I think Saturday streams are gonna be this from now on. we will do the Jacob study. We will do the Jacob study. Worry not. But Saturday streams are going to be passage. It's interesting considering how many people seem to confuse things God does with who He is. Right? Like, and that's one of the thing I like about Scripture is that it shows us both things. It shows us who God is and what He does, but it shows us who He is through what He does, right? It is by the actions of God throughout our history, throughout the greatest story ever told, that we see the character of God shine through. So yeah, I'm totally with you, right? That the people I think I'd kind of sum it up as a lot of people don't see God as a person, which is, for Christians at least, is patently insane, because God quite literally condescended and became a person, in part, I would argue, to better relate to us, to show us a person way. Where did you get the little sheepies? At the bottom of the stream. Yeah, so I'm using a program called Stream Avatars. Oh, by the way, I need to do the thing. I need to do the thing. I need to do a... yeah, I'm using a program called Stream Avatars, which effectively you get little avatar sets that map to whoever is in your chat. Either they map to whoever's in your chat, and you can set the settings on like what maps them. And then also, I am using so that's Stream Avatars, and then you can go get asset packs. And I think so. Stream Avatars is free. No, it's like $15. Stream Avatars costs some amount of money. It is a Steam application that just runs on my computer, I give it the stream keys for my streams, it picks up who's in my chat, and then people design avatar sets for Stream Avatars, and I picked up the sheep on Ko-Fi, and I think Maria Grace also uses this particular set of Stream Avatars. So the program, Stream Avatars, one word, if you want to look into that. And then the sheep themselves are something I picked up on VGen. Yeah. And man, VGen is dangerous, because when I go on VGen, I start getting ideas that I start getting ideas to justify purchases I want to make. But my last VGen trip, I got out of there with without only spending $20. So we are safe in that regard. I was gonna shout out Lampwick, and I wanted to shout out Ian the Aura as well. I have to wait 41 seconds before giving another shout out? What? Twitch, why would you do this? What? Why? Huh? That is an incredibly strange that is an incredibly strange. You bet, man. You bet, brother. Like I you've the the manner in which you engage with your chat, I'm realizing is kind of the manner I've realized just by being with you is kind of the manner I want to engage with my chat. Is it's way more fun to just yap about what we're yapping about for as long as we are yapping about it, and then get on to whatever we had planned for stream. But Saturdays are going to be I'm unwinding all of my stack here. Saturdays, I think from this point on, are going to be Paragonic builds a sermon days. Absolutely. Like, this is something I can yap about and I think be semi-entertaining about, and I hope a little edifying about on stream. Straight up nonsense with no perceivable through line of thought. Well, no, man. That's the cool thing about conversations, is that there is a through, like, we are moving from one topic to another. It is not like we are just cutting between things. And the wonderful thing about a conversation is the post-mortem, is like going back over the conversation and saying, how did we get here? Oh yeah, we talked about this thing and we made this weird relation here, and then we brought it there, and then we brought it there. Like, that's what's fun about conversations, is the fact that they can just, like, if you are having a conversation with people you like and are engaging with, more often than not, actually, they are going to pivot on a dime to something else entirely. And that's fun, man. Saturdays are going to be sermon days. What was the note? The note was Moses is on top of Sinai. Actually, let's put that in my sermon prep document instead of in a weird Notepad++ tab I opened up. And if you're in passage explanation, jetical notes, where does this fit? What do I need to explain? I think this is good here. Sir, neurospicy brain to be jumping from topic to topic, and like, yeah, man, some call that neurospicy, some might call that like, if some might call that like an aptitude for handling many ideas at once. It's like, yeah, for the compliment, it leans, yeah, your streams are, of course, man. I wouldn't, Lampwick, my dear brother, I wouldn't be there if they weren't fun. I would instead tell you that I think you need, like, something needs to change. Like, believe me when I say this. It is fun to be on your streams. I am enjoying it when I am there. Hear my words. Why, thank you. Elijah is, I wonder if that's a point I can actually develop. He is in the cave in Sinai. Moses was on top of it. Okay, but that's, we're not, as much as I want to just throw myself head over foot to sermon prep now. I want to talk about Jacob. I want to talk about my buddy Jacob. I'm, like I said last stream, giving myself terribly visceral memories of a time long past. I am Team Jacob. Oh man. those were some dark years in which I described myself as Team Jacob. Dark is maybe not the best way of putting it. They were some interesting, those were interesting days of childhood. That maybe that's of young adulthood, and somewhere in there. I don't know. When does a boy become a man? Is it after he reads through the entire Twilight series? Lord, I hope not. All right. Do I want to do? I don't think I want to do Nihon Kona today. I think I also want to I need to workshop Nihon Kona and make it into something better. Something more engaging. Did you see when Taylor Lautner literally said that Team Jacob is just a Felicity thing because there was never any chance that Bella would end up... I mean, duh. Like, that's... Like, yeah, man. 100%. There was never any chance that Bella was ending up with anybody but Edward. I was not Team Jacob because I thought Bella would end up with Jacob. Let me be very, very clear. I was Team Jacob because I was very aware that Jacob, despite being immature, was better for Bella in the long run than Edward was. I can't believe I'm talking about Twilight on stream. I mean, but I guess I am. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, JB. The post-mortem of how we got here. It's the taking a step back and looking at the conversation and going, hang the heck on. Am I really espousing the opinions about Twilight? Twilight is a mirror. Twilight, I mean, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. We're waxing a little poetic here. Oh man, what were there were like the old vampires, like the old school vampires. Like oh man, what were they called? They were like a secret society of Italian old vampires. Well, they weren't like secret. They were very, very well. They were secret in the way that vampires are secret, but like everyone in the vampire world knew that the Italian vampires ran the vampire world. The Volturi. They were the Volturi. Yes, and like there was just a they made a weird. I guess not weird. There was a really interesting comment for world building that like the Volturi, they come up against Jacob and his pack, his werewolf pack, and they go, oh, you guys aren't the kind of werewolves that we are used to dealing with. You are not the children of the moon. You are something else. Which implies... I'm just thinking about Twilight without the blue filter. Twilight without the blue filter, sorry? What's going on here? I'm looking it up right now. Give me a new window. Twilight without blue tint. Holy buckets! Hang on. Alright, screen. Let's actually read the screen rant. Why the first movie is so blue and why it changed. Holy buckets. Okay, go. Hey, like, just come on, man. Come on, man. Twilight Saga had different directors, with that came different styles, but there's a huge difference between the first movie and the rest. It's about the color tones. Twilight was very blue. Here's why it looked. Vampires and werewolves become something, blah, blah, blah. Great, blah, blah. Twilight movies were a big fan. Holy, just talk about the thing that you wrote the article about, dude. Twilight's blue tint has even be. I know you're trying to hit word limits. Twilight's blue tint has become something of an interest sensation. Odd. Okay, you know what? I don't think I need this person's opinion on the blue tint. I think I can look at it myself. Twilight wouldn't be the same without the blue tint. Yeah, that's a different movie. That's just a different movie. Honestly, I feel like if... So, hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. I think that a selective use of the blue tint to convey gravity or seriousness of scenes might actually have gone a long way. Like, if during the baseball scene, for example, we hadn't had the blue tint because the family is, the family is getting together, you cannot forgive Twilight for what it did to the public protection of vampires in fiction. Well, they sparkle, man. Vampires sparkle. They sparkle in the sunlight. That's what they do. They live among us and they sparkle. And they're vegetarians. They aren't, well, they can be vegetarians, I suppose. Yeah, no, man, I'm with you. I'm with you. Give me the Draculas, give me the Nosferatus, give me anything with Bela Lugosi. Like, yeah, 100%. I am with you, good sir. Oh, man. Well, Twilight without the blue tint. I like, now that I see it, I can't unsee it. I never watched the movies, to be clear. I just read the books, because that's the kind of kid I was. Without blue tint, it gives Harry... I should not read Instagram comments on screen. That's not a winning... on stream, that is not a... in any way, shape, or form a winning strategy. All right, we're gonna skip the Japanese. I promise I'm still habit building. Let's hop on over to where were we? Like Genesis 30, Sons of Jacob, close. Genesis. Well, that was too fast. I think like Genesis 32. Nope. That's a little ahead. We were in 31. Split the difference, Renai. Wife and I watched the first few out of pure curiosity one year and couldn't stop ranting. I mean, yeah, man, like that's one of the greatest joys in life is sitting down to watch a film with a fellow critic, with someone who is not afraid to talk over the schlock that has been put on and ask the big questions. Ask what is going on here. Ask why did they make this choice. My goodness. All right. So I am going to forcibly change our topics here. References are still welcome, and every time I say Jacob during this, I think I'm going to be I might just be thinking about Taylor Lautner. Don't Cursed art to commission. Cursed art to commission. Jacob is Jacob. Is that blasphemous? They're gonna be blasphemous if I was Jewish. Oh man. I gotta write that down. That's that Jacob is Jacob. That is okay. Cursed art. Jacob as Taylor Lautner as Jacob. Long as you aren't thinking, I am not thinking about Yakub. I am talking about cursed art, where we render some scene from the life of Jacob the Patriarch, and we depict Jacob the Patriarch as Taylor Lautner. That is what I'm talking about. That is the cursed art I am speaking of. I am not talking about Agartha. This stream isn't a. I've said the word Agartha now, but this stream is an Agartha free zone. At least today. Maybe some other time. Oh, man. The things... I'll leave it at the things people believe. The things... Here's the thing, man. I don't know that much about Agartha. I'll come over to your next stream and you can talk about Agartha and I'll ask questions. You're the Agarthan expert. I know the basics, but I would love a dump at some time. Yeah, absolutely 100%. I am actually thinking about I've realized kind of that like I have had my streams as they have been. I've kind of had the quote unquote default setting of my streams set to, and again, this is high concept. Like, I've had my stream set to quote-unquote private mode, and, like, I am in several Discord servers that if I think I asked the permission of the heads of those Discord servers, they would have no issue letting me chill out in there when I am streaming, and just saying, hey, if anyone wants to pop in for Bible study, and bounce things off of me, we could do that. And I think I'm going to start making that I think I'm going to update that setting, quote-unquote setting, on my streams. Not next week. I'm not streaming next week, because I'm going to be up in the woods, being torn apart and put back together at a men's retreat. But the week after that, I think Renai Paragonic streams are going to be making the intentional effort to invite friends on. Whatever friends want to pop in for however long. Like, four Sherseys. And I can get my React set up and all that. Because, like, why the heck not, man? I want more perspectives on the biblical text. I want more people interacting with the text, like I'm interacting with the text. So, why not just talk to them about it on stream? Like, why? Like, and again, the fallback is what we are doing right now, and that's perfectly workable too. But the more the merrier. The more the merrier. And then I can pick theological fights. Maybe around stream later, hadn't said it yet. Yeah, absolutely. My the rest of my day past stream today, I think, is pretty packed, but we shall see. I'm checking. I have a checklist of things I am not allowed to go to sleep tonight until they are complete. Because at this time next week, I am responsible for staging and activities for a men's ministry retreat up in the woods, which means I have to step up and engage with those things. I'm not allowed not to, because I have put the responsibility of giving those men an experience like the experience I had the last time I went to this retreat. I have put that responsibility on my shoulders, which means I don't. If sleep is what must be sacrificed to fit everything in, sleep will be sacrificed. I think I'm okay. I think I have gotten out ahead of most of those responsibilities, to be very, very clear. But you know, it always feels like there could be more. So we're back to Jacob, back to Yaakov, right? Yaakov, or is that Jacob? Back to Jacob. Actually, Jacob, not that Jacob. Back to Jacob. Back when we last left Jacob, Jacob had served his 14 years. Served his 14 years, 7 of which he had intended to serve for Rachel, and instead was given Leah, and then the additional 7, which Laban used as leverage to give Jacob Rachel. So Jacob had just served. Not the Jacob from the moon. That is correct. 100%. Yakib. Yakib, Jacob. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Transliteration from Hebrew is a rough game anyway. Right. So Jacob has just served out his 14 years. Jacob now has 11 children. Can I do the numbers? 6 of which are by his first wife, Leah. 2 of which are by his wife Leah's maid, Zilpha. 2 of which are by his wife Rachel's maid, Bilhah. And 1 of which, Joseph, of the Technicolor Dreamcoat, who we will assuredly get to, 1 of which, Joseph, by the wife he loved, Rachel. So Jacob's got 11 grandsons at this point. Jacob says, all right, Laban, I'm going home. My father Isaac said to me, charged me when I left home. He said, go find a wife and come back. I have been here, Laban, 14 freaking years working for you for these 2 lovely women, one of which I have much more affection for than the other, but that's neither here nor there. And Laban goes, you know what, man? But you're like a son to me. So, why don't you... So, Jacob, why don't you hang out with me? Name your price, Jacob, and I will pay it. Name your price, and I will. I want to keep you here. I want to keep you in my family. Name the price. And Jacob goes, okay, Laban. Here's what we're going to do. Because Laban, my dude, Laban, my man, the last time I made an agreement with you, it gave me 7 more years of servitude and an additional wife I didn't necessarily want. That happened the last time I made an agreement with you. So, Laban, here's what we're gonna do this time, old buddy, old pal, old Uncle Laban. Here's what we're gonna do. I am gonna keep your flocks. But I'm going to keep your flocks. Bonus. Yeah. Here's the tragic thing about... The tragic thing about Bonus Wife is that Bonus Wife bore 6 sons for Jacob, and after the birth of 4 or 5 of them, what she said was, surely this is the son that will make Jacob love me. Something out to that. Surely this is the son that will get my husband's attention. Surely this is the son that will make my husband proud of me. So yes, Bonus Wife, boy howdy, sigh, Bonus Wife. It is... I would not want to be Leah. Actually tragic. Actually, the devastating human cost of Laban's treachery and that engagement is huge. And we actually continue on with that devastating cost here, because Jacob negotiates with Laban. Jacob has this conversation. And he says, okay, I'm going to keep your flocks. I'm going to keep your flocks, but every time there is a speckled or a spotted or a black sheep that is born, we're going to take that sheep and we're going to put it in the Jacob stock holdings. The all of the sheep that have these defects, those are not the sheep I'm keeping. In fact, Laban, you're going to separate and hold on to those sheep, my wages. Those are my wages. That's the Jacob. That is my retirement savings. Are whatever sheep are born while I'm keeping your flocks. Whatever sheep are born in the speckled, striped, spotted, those ones, not the white ones. These ones. And Laban looks at his flock, goes, "Yeah, man, you bet." And they take the speckled, striped, and spotted sheep out of that flock. So Jacob is left with a flock. So Jacob has given himself insurance on this as well, because he knows that Laban is a schemer. He knows that Laban is someone who... He knows that Laban is someone who is... He knows that Laban is someone who changes terms. He knows that Laban is someone who is trying to get the upper hand. So Jacob goes, okay, here is how we determine what the wages are. It's physical things that we cannot possibly not observe. That's how we're going to determine my wages, Laban. Laban goes, you got it, man. So they take all of the speckled, striped, and spotted sheep, and the black sheep as well. They take those out of the herd. They set them aside. So Jacob is just left, apparently, with the pure sheep. So Laban must be thinking, okay, Jacob's a freaking moron, because Jacob has just taken and is pasturing all the sheep that aren't speckled and spotted and striped, which means he's not going to produce those sheep from that herd. And then what we get is Jacob engaging in some selective breeding, as well as with some divine providence. God kind of shows Jacob the gotcha box, the blind pull of the sheep underneath each one. Jacob has these visions where he sees the sheep mating, and he sees them as speckled or spotted or striped. Jacob gets some divine assistance on his selective breeding program to effectively make Jacob's stonks go up and Laban's stonks go down, because Laban's herd is the pure ones, and Jacob effectively, and again, he needed some inside baseball knowledge for this, but his God is with him. Jacob goes, all right, we're going to make speckled and spotted and striped ones. Those are going to be the strong sheep. The weak sheep are going to be the ones that breed that are the pure ones. Pure, I say. The white ones. Yeah, so Jacob becomes very, very rich, actually, at this point. And at that point, Jacob's going, okay. Then he starts hearing grumbling from Laban's sons, that he is starting to take wealth away from them, that he is ruining their father, that he is ruining Laban is no longer... The white ones are the pure ones. Like, yeah. Hey, Lampwick, I'm a... Oh, buddy, what I am about to... So in my friend group, Lampwick, I need you to understand, and it is jokingly, but one of my nicknames is my real first name, the South will rise again, my real last name. And again, I am about as Yankee as they come, but some of my opinions... give my friends cause to engage with me like this. Now, I will leave the actual judgment of my character to the words that I actually say and deeds that I actually do, but I need you to understand that there is Rainai Paragonic in real life has a nickname that is first name, the South will rise again, last name. So, and maybe just maybe, that is a cancelable offense, but I would much rather than engage on that, engage on what I say, what I do, and the witness I put out there. Yes. All of that is to say that Jacob makes Laban's cut, Jacob makes the Laban stock market stonks go down, and Jacob makes the Jacob stonks go up. And Jacob gets super duper rich, and that's starting to piss off like Jacob starts realizing that Laban and his sons are plotting probably some not great things against Jacob. So Jacob talks to God, and God goes, "Hey, Jacob, it's time. It's time, Jacob. It is time to make good on the promise that you made to Isaac. It is time to make good on the promise you made to me. Get out of here, man." And then this last note. This last note was like the gem, the crown jewel at the end of the last study. Because if you're just reading your text, and let's pop on. I just want to let's we pop to ESV. Yeah, so ESV says tricked here. And you'll notice there's a note. If we go to KJV, what does KJV say? Stole away unawares, right? And if we go to NASB, Jacob, they choose to translate it as where is it? Why am I? And Jacob deceived Laban the Aramean by not telling him that he was fleeing. But the Hebrew, gang, the Hebrew underneath this, the literal text here is that Jacob stole the heart of Laban. So Jacob stole the heart of Laban by leaving in the night. And what does that say? And again, the whole point of engaging with the text, giving it time to breathe like this, is to see these characters, see these individuals as human beings. So when we see, right, when the Hebrew decides to render this as Jacob stole the heart of Laban, Jacob has committed a crime, Jacob has committed a trespass, a theft, not against, like, the text goes out of its way, right, to say that Jacob took everything that was Jacob's. Jacob, in fact, took just the things that were Jacob, despite having every opportunity to rob Laban blind. But he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that as revenge, but he still commits injury against Laban, because what Jacob does, despite whether or not Laban deserves it, what Jacob does here, think about this, put yourself in Laban's shoes. You, Laban, are, like, you've got Jacob, your son-in-law, and, like, you don't feel fantastic about him, but who you do love, even if the manner in which you utilized them for your own goals and for probably how you justified their own good, even if that's not great, you, Laban, are so happy. You are a grandfather of 11 children. Your 2 daughters are here in your household with you. You are keeping them, in your reckoning, safe. And you wake up one morning, and your daughters are gone, and your 11 grandchildren are gone. They are just gone. Jacob has packed up with his wives in the middle of the night and just vanished. That's where Laban's at, in some sense. That is where Laban is at emotionally, as we are going to be picking up here, is Jacob has stolen Laban's heart. And again, Jacob had the opportunity to steal so much more from Laban. Jacob had the opportunity to really go nuclear, go macular. That's nothing. That's really nothing. I'll find a pun. Jacob could have robbed Laban blind, like taken the flocks that he was herding, the white flocks, as well as taken all of the flocks he did. No, Jacob just took the things that Jacob wanted to take, and that was kind of the application or takeaway from last time, is Jacob didn't do that. Jacob is walking with God right now. Jacob is doing the things that God has asked of him. So we are starting to see is Jacob beginning to walk with integrity. And I think, as we will see throughout this, Jacob is not going to be perfect about walking with integrity. Jacob is absolutely going to fall back into some of those patterns, which we may get to today. But Jacob, when he is hearing that voice of God, when he is getting that direction of, okay, Jacob, it is time to fulfill the promise, it is time to go, Jacob, in acting on God's authority, in acting how God wants him to act, Jacob is walking with integrity. But even, and then the corollary to this is that even when Jacob is walking with integrity, even when Jacob is technically doing nothing wrong from a legal standpoint necessarily, he has still wounded his father-in-law. And we can talk all day about whether or not Laban deserves that wounding. But that there is definitely a wounding that occurs here. The text would not say that Jacob stole Laban's heart if, it didn't want us to think about that. Think about that idea. Anyway, that is our summary. I don't know how long that summary took. I don't think I need to. I don't necessarily think I need to know how long that summary took. But that's where we got there. What we're going to do now is, before we read, I'm going to pray over the text, over what we are going to learn, and then we are going to just kind of go through, I'll read a chunk, and then go through it, roughly verse by verse-ish, seeing what pops out. But before that, of course, the prayer I just mentioned 10 seconds ago, and don't need to reiterate, but I'm going to anyway. If folks would please bow their heads with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time together, time spent with friends, time out on this modern miracle that is the internet, God. Thank you for the ability to connect with people over silly things like Twilight, and connect with things over the eternal and insubstantial things, God, like your promises and your character. God, as we engage with the story of Jacob today, as we see what pops out at us as lessons, as insights from the life of the patriarch that would go on to father your chosen nation. God, I would ask that my words are your words, that the insights that I and those in chat arrive at are the insights, the lessons, the takeaways that are going to speak into our lives effectively today and forever, of course. Lord, it is, again, just such a blessing to have this instruction manual for life out in front of us. Have the ability to engage with your word, not only in our native language, God, but in the languages that the original authors used, that the languages that the men who wrote this text down used, the original language there, God, to better understand their intent while conveying your intent. So, Lord, I, again, thank you. I ask your blessing over this session, God, and I pray these things in the name of your mighty Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Alrighty. So, before we read, map break. I love the map break. Love the map break so much. Whoops, we're not doing that this stream. Jacob's journey to Haran and back. There we go. Give me the image, please, Plux. I should really just have... Why don't I have... yeah. This is going to be useful for a bit, so let's just get it added as a stream source. Man, that's way easier than what I've been doing. Jacob journey... Journey. Okay. Browse. I need to put it in the place that I made for image sources so that I don't lose the freaking reference when I clear out my downloads directory. There we go. Perfect. Map break. And we want to send this behind that. Perfect. And that's centered enough. Yeah. Okay, so we... I'm starting to wish I had your stream cursor plugin, JB. Okay. Note for myself. OBS stream. Or OBS cursor. Plugin. Or drawing plugin. Cursor and drawing. Yeah, I have found the case where I actually want to use that. So Jacob is over in Haran. That's in the top right, the northeast, No. Yes, northeast. No. Yes, northeast. My goodness. I know directions. I know directions, I promise. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Yes. Yes. From that simple truth, we can derive everything. But, the Jacob is up in the north east here in Haran, keeping the flocks of Laban, and he is headed home. He is going back. He has set his eyes on Gilead, which is way down in the center of the map. You can see it if you triangulate between the three verse references in the bottom half of this map. That is Gilead. That is where Jacob has decided he is going to with his wives, plural, with his 11 children, with his wives' maidservants that he has known carnally. That's where Jacob is going with all of his great wealth. That is where he has decided he is going to settle, and he is taking his family a good 300 miles. He is engaging in some cross desert travel. That is the distances we are covering here. So that's our map break. That's our setting. That's our context. And now we're gonna read. I think we're actually just gonna read. Let's read this whole section actually, because it's talking about pretty much one thing. So this is the word of the Lord. When it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, then he took his kinsman with him and pursued him at a distance of 7 days' journey, and he overtook him in the hill country of Gilead. God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream and in the night and said to him, "Be careful that you do not speak to Jacob either good or bad." Laban caught up with Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen camped in the hill country of Gilead. Then Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done by deceiving me and carrying away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me, and did not tell me so that I might have sent you away with joy and with songs, with timbrel and with lyre, and did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do you harm. But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to speak either good or bad to Jacob.' Now you indeed have gone away because you long greatly for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods?" Then Jacob replied to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. The one with whom you find your gods shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, point out what is yours among my belongings and take it for yourself." For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Actually, that's a good place to stop. So, the right before the gang left, right before Jacob and the team left, we see that Rachel, Jacob and the team. How do I feel about referring to Jacob's household as the team? Jacob and the I guess I could call his sons the tribes. That's got a ring to it. Jacob and the tribes. Anyway, Jacob's entire family has packed up and is getting ready to go. And Jacob and his posse, I do love the word posse. I do absolutely adore the word posse. That's pretty good. But Laban goes out to shear his flock. Rachel is on board. Rachel and Leah are both on board. They are not Team Laban, they are Team Jacob. Rachel, on the way out, steals the household idols, the teraphim, of her father. And teraphim, just so we are clear, is like, it is image or idol. If we strongs that real quick. Give me a look up. We are gonna see that is kind of idol, object of reverence, and means of divination. It's the no good stuff. It is the images of gods that mankind has carved. So this is what Rachel has stolen from Laban's house. And I want to talk about something really interesting here. I want us to think about that for more than a second. Why did Rachel steal these? Why did Rachel steal the household idols of Laban? The answer is because she feels that there is power in those, right? she feels that they are part of, like they are something that is going to give her comfort. They are something that is going to give her, a leg up in the time to come. There is a source of power there. There is a source of sureness there. But let's think about that. Why does Rachel see these household idols as such? The answer is that the wife that Jacob loves, Jacob has failed to communicate the game plan to. Jacob has not, had the conversations, apparently, with Rachel. Jacob has not made it so Rachel understands that the God of Jacob's father has everything taken care of. That we don't need Laban's household idols. Nothing of, and again, he's got a real easy way to describe this. None of the fortune that has come to Jacob visibly manifest before Rachel and Leah. None of that has come from the idols. None of that has come from Laban's household gods. It has come from the Lord his God. Jacob has had tangible experiences hearing God's voice, God showing him visions that he has conveyed to his wives, but he hasn't gone a step further. He hasn't explained to them that God is God, that God is sovereign, that God is in control, and has made these promises to Jacob. And Jacob may not be communicating this for one of two reasons. One, he's a bad communicator. he's a shrewd negotiator, but maybe he is a poor communicator. Or two, which I think more likely, and I think is something we are going to see as Jacob's story continues to play out, Jacob still doesn't get it fully. Jacob has encountered God. Jacob believes in God, but he still sees God as a presence, a entity, a being that is on par with the other gods of the Mesopotamian pantheon of Laban's household. He sees God as a God of many, and not the sole God, not Yahweh, not the creator of the universe. That I think more than anything else is why Rachel isn't on board here. Is why Rachel has done this, because, and again, I'm gonna put the blame on Jacob here, because Jacob has not communicated the game plan. Whether or not that is out of Jacob's lack of understanding on the game plan, or Jacob just not communicating to his wife, it's still, again, this is not Leah. This is Rachel. This is the wife Jacob loves. This is the wife Jacob should be having these conversations about, these deep faith conversations with. His understanding of his God. That has not been communicated to her. So, yeah. that's a diatribe there. God came to Laban. Okay, right. So Rachel stole those. So when it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, then he took his kinsmen with him and pursued him at a distance of 7 days' journey, and he overtook him in the hill country of Gilead. Laban is able to catch up with Jacob, despite the fact that Laban does not hear about it until the third day. And the third day is actually important. The reason I think that we have third day here is because, the connections. If we pop back to when Jacob and Laban were negotiating last chapter, Laban put a distance of 3 days' journey between himself and Jacob. Laban has put this distance that let Jacob get away undetected for 3 days. It is Laban created this distance, both physically and, I would argue, emotionally. That's literally what Laban has created this distance, which allows Jacob to wound him in the first place. So Jacob hears that. Laban hears 3 days later, after Jacob has split with his entire family. Laban goes, "All right, men, we've got a son-in-law to catch. We've got a wife and grandchildren to save. We've got daughters and grandchildren to save. So Laban rounds up his guys, and let's keep in mind, Jacob is taking his entire household. He has picked up everything. He's got camels. He's got servants. He's got 4 women, dependent on him, and 11 children. Like, Jacob is probably not keeping a fantastic pace. So, Laban, even despite the fact that Jacob has a 3 days head start, because of the distance Laban created, Laban catches up to him. So Laban catches up with Jacob. Laban and his kingdom were camped in the hill country of Gilead. Then Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done by deceiving me and carrying away my daughters like captives of the sword?" Right? Here we go. Laban is... God has spoken to Laban, say, Hey, Laban. Hey, Laban. Jacob's my boy. Jacob's my boy, Laban. You don't touch. I'm here. I'm manifest. I am powerful. I am speaking to you directly, Laban. Jacob is my boy. You don't touch Jacob, okay? Don't say anything good or bad to Jacob. Be careful about what you are about to say to Jacob. That is a direct revelation God gives to Laban to protect Jacob, just like God promised Jacob he would protect him. So Laban comes out swinging, though. He says, "What have you done by deceiving me and carrying away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and deceive me and did not tell me, so that I might send you away with joy with songs, with timbrel with lyre, and did not allow me to kiss my sons and daughters? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do you harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to speak either good or bad to Jacob.' Now you indeed have long gone away because you long greatly for your father's house." So we're going to stop here. So Laban engages with Jacob here, and what's interesting to me, what sticks out to me here, is that I think Laban is a man that is always trying to posture for leverage. And Laban has just had a direct revelation from God that he should not be trying to get, like, he should not be trying to harm Jacob. And Laban turns around and freaking uses that. Laban turns around and uses the fact that God has told him not to touch Jacob as a leg up to start negotiations with Jacob. Because Laban goes, "It is in my power to do you harm." And it is in Laban's power to do Jacob harm. But I don't think it would be justifiable. I don't think it would be justifiable for Laban to do Jacob harm. And I think, and again, I might be getting a little too much in Laban's shoes here. I might be reading a little too much in the text here. I think Laban knows that he doesn't have a good justification for harming Jacob right now. So Laban goes, "I could harm you," implying potentially a just cause for it. But he goes, "But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to speak either good or bad to Jacob.'" So Laban comes up to Jacob, he goes, "Hey, you hurt me, and I could hurt you." Then, ignoring the fact that these are two very, very different kinds of hurts, or maybe not ignoring, Laban makes that point and he says, "But your God told me I can't." So that is the opening of, think of what, every time you see a conversation between Jacob and Laban in Scripture past the first, think of it as think of it as negotiation start. Think of it as the negotiation start. What is that? Negotiation. Is that an Undertale? Why does that phrase ring so? Okay, no idea. The negotiations have started. Negotiations have opened between Laban and Jacob, and Laban's opening engagement, Laban's opening rhetoric here is, "Man, you wronged me, and I'm not allowed." The negotiations were short. Oh man, I might be about to confound that supposition, but all that is to say, the negotiations have started, and they are going to continue, and see everything that is happening from this point on as a rhetorical barb, because after the first time, Jacob got Laban's number, and the number that Jacob got was, whether Jacob likes it or not, the number that Jacob got was, they are alike. They are alike. They are both schemers. They are both men who are always trying to position themselves for the upper hand. Oh, yes, Phantom Menace. Yes, I'm so sorry. Oh, man. I have even come around. I shouldn't say I like the prequels. That's not technically correct. I look at the prequels these days, and I say, perhaps I have treated you too harshly. Oh, man. I did go see the 20th anniversary? Yeah, it would have been 20th. The 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith in theaters last year. That was an experience. And I'll leave it at that. Perhaps I treated the prequels too harshly, but they they still deserve some harshness. So that is Laban's opening card in these negotiations here. Now you have indeed gone away because you long gratefully for your father's house, but why did you steal my god? So Laban goes, look, man, I even get it. I get why you left. You long for your father's house, man. You want to get off there. You want to be you want to get out off there. Whoops. You want to get out there, my man. You want to return home. You want to be head of household now, and that's not happening under me. And Laban goes, I get that, man. But then Laban plays his actual card. But why did you steal my gods? Then Jacob replied to Laban, because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. And Jacob goes, look, man, I'm not playing these games with you. The reason I left in the middle of the night is because you have shown a consistent pattern of cheating me. A consistent pattern of not engaging with my best wishes, a consistent pattern of one-upping yourself over me, of wronging me, of you changed my wages 10 times, dude. You changed my wages 10 times. Sorry I left in the middle of the night. We're not playing that game. But then Jacob goes, the one with whom you find your gods shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, point out what is yours among my belongings and take it for yourself. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. This statement that Jacob has made right here is going to be one. Jacob has just set up a ticking time bomb for Jacob. Jacob has just set up a ticking time bomb for Jacob, which will blow up in many, many years. But these words right here, which Jacob spoke, which again are words that have come out of the fact that Jacob does not have a trusting, clearly does not seem to have a trusting relationship with Rachel. You know what? Jacob has trust issues. That's kind of what, oh my goodness. Jacob has trust issues. Like, every engagement Jacob has, whether it is with his wives or whether it is with people, like, Jacob is pulling a Laban. Jacob even has trust issues with God when God makes his promises. Jacob says, great, if God will do all of the things that he has promised for me, then, Jacob has trust issues. That's Jacob's big flaw. He's got other ones, but in a psychoanalyzing sense, everything's kind of downstream from, well, gang, that's why we do these streams for points like that. So Jacob doesn't know Rachel has stolen the idols. Jacob, because Jacob does not know Rachel has stolen the idols, because he does not have that trusting relationship with his wife, where one, he could have communicated to her that is not something we need to do in the first place, or two, she would have told him, right? She would have trusted Jacob enough to tell him that she stole the idols. Neither of those occur. And because neither of those occur, Jacob has set up a time bomb that's going to mess Jacob up way, way later in Jacob's life. Way later in Jacob's life. But Jacob has set a time bomb. So, anyway. We are going to get back into the word here. We're going to start with verse 33. And I think we're going to go through 42. This is the word of the Lord. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the two maids, but he did not find them. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household idols and put them in the camel's saddle, and she sat on them. And Laban felt through all the tent, but did not find them. She said to her father, "Let not my lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is upon me." So he searched, but did not find the household idols. Then Jacob became angry and contended with Laban, and Jacob said to Laban, "What is my transgression? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me? Though you have felt through all my goods, what have you found all of your household goods? What have you found of all your household goods? Set it here before my kinsmen and your kinsmen, that they may decide between us two. These 20 years I have been with you." Hey, look at that, 20 years. We've got an actual time frame. "Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried, nor have I eaten the rams of your flocks. That which was torn of beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself. You required it of my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was. By the day the heat consumed me, and the frost by night, and sleep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I have served you 14 years for your 2 daughters, and 6 years for your flock. And you changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had not been for me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God has seen my affliction and the toil of my hands, so he rendered judgment last night." Whew! What a rebuke from Jacob. But again, it's a rebuke, it is emotional, it is true. And it is jockeying for position in what's going on here, because Jacob has, Jacob's got the cards that Jacob has. Jacob is playing this game, and Jacob is playing this game very, very smartly. Jacob is playing this game, and he is saying, "Hey, Laban." Jacob's kind of engaging in, we don't have the law yet, but Jacob is very much engaging in the manner in which the law tells us to handle disputes and accusations, right? Jacob says to Laban, he says, "Hey, what is my transgression? What is my sin?" And he goes, "Hey, man, we've got witnesses here. I've got my household. You've got your household. We're not doing this quarreling back and forth anymore. Laban, we're not in your household anymore. We're out here. So here's how we're going to decide. You are going to make your case before, honestly, a proto-assembly, right? It's not a nation yet. It's not God's chosen people yet. But it is their family units. Jacob is saying, we've got our families here. You are accusing me of wrongdoing. You are accusing me, Laban, of theft. So we're going to put it between our families, our kinsmen, people that both of us are related to. And they are going to judge. I'm not playing this game with you anymore, Laban. And this, also, let's note the power that comes from having a family. The power, the leverage, quite literally, the social leverage, and again, there are so many reasons to have a family. There are so many reasons to have a family. I don't need to, chief among them being God's command to be fruitful and multiply. Literally out of the gate stuff for mankind. But we also need to understand that there is power in having a family. In fact, that's a fun note to put down. There is power in having a family. We're gonna need to move to the new note card. They are people that you can trust your family, right? Jacob would not have been able to play this card if Jacob did not have a family, if Jacob did not have kinsmen that were in his household, right? He's quite literally got numbers. And he might not actually have numbers, but he has enough witnesses to his character, to the events that have occurred, that are with him. Anyway, So Jacob, 20 years, right? So there we go. So for Jacob served 7, then 7, 7 years for Rachel, or 7 years for Rachel, which was Leah, then 7 years for Rachel, actually Rachel, and then he served another 6, keeping Laban's flock. So 7, 7, 6. There's probably some Hebrew numerology there. We've got completion twice, and then we have the number of. Oh, we have the number of sinful man. We have the number. Interesting. Like we have the. It implies that the 14 years, if we go on Hebrew numerology there, the implication under the hood is that the 14 years which Jacob served were in some way just. They were the completion that he needed to complete. And then the 6, which is where Laban changed Jacob's wages 10 times, that's unjust, that's evil, that's the number of man. Okay. I want to poke into that later. Man, this is fun. Hebrew numerology on length of service. And maybe we're getting a little too close to Agartha there, but there is the symbolism in Hebrew numerology is fantastic. It conveys so many things that we might not even know to look for otherwise. Anyway, got it. He served 20 years. He goes, look, man, here's my freaking resume. And not only here is my resume, not only here are all of the fantastic things that happened for you while I was working for you, man, but here's my list of grievances. You changed my wages 10 times. You are a sly one, Mr. Laban. You are coming after me, saying that I have wronged you. I have stolen your household gods. That's the card you're playing, bud. You've wronged me. And I am literally just doing the things that God has told me to do. So that's where Jacob comes back, and he says, and because of this, God rendered judgment against you last night. And then we continue here. We're gonna probably read. Yeah, let's read 43. Let's just read 43 through 55. This is the word of the Lord. Then Laban replied to Jacob, the daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, and the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do this days to these my daughters and to their children whom they have borne? So now come, let us make a covenant, you and I. Let it be witness between you and me. Then Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Jacob said to his kinsmen, gather stones. So they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Now Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Galit. Laban said, this heap is a witness between you and me this day. Therefore it was named Galid and Mizpah. For he said, may the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. If you mistreat my daughters, or if you take wife besides my daughters, although no man is with us, see, God is witness between you and me. Laban said to Jacob, behold this heap, and behold the pillar which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass by this heap to you for harm, and you will not pass by this heap and this pillar to me for harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and called his kinsmen to the meal, and they ate the meal and spent the night on the mountain. Early in the morning, Laban rose and kissed his sons and daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. All right. So, the negotiations have closed, and they've closed rather dramatically. So Laban comes back. Laban gets Jacob. Jacob says, look, man, you wronged me. And Laban says, no, man, those are my daughters. Those are the children. I'm going to guess this is sons. Banim, yeah, son. The sons are my sons, and that's the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. All that you see is mine, Laban says. That is his comeback, and the reason Laban is able to say this is able to say this with a straight face is because he, like, I don't think Laban believes this for a freaking second. Because if they were his, he could do something about it. But Laban's got his move up his sleeve for these negotiations here. It's what Laban led with. But what can I do this day to these my daughters or to their children whom they have borne? Laban has taken the fact that God has rendered him powerless and is using that as negotiation tactics for Jacob. Laban is able to make these super duper strong claims because he knows he can't do anything about them. So he is going to milk this rhetoric for everything he can get out of it. And then we continue. So now come, let us make a covenant, you and I, let it be a witness. Okay, is there anything I wanted to... Yes. Let us make a covenant, you and I want to see what this says, I and you. Make a covenant, they are making an agreement, let it be a witness between you and me. Right, so Laban says, all right, man, it's covenant time. It's time to make this official before the settled kinsmen how we are going to deal with each other. We've played our cards, it's time to get to conclusion. Then Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar, and we see a parallel here, right? We see a parallel to when God met Jacob at Bethel. We saw Jacob set up a stone, a pillar, a memorial to the engagement he had with God then. So Jacob is doing a similar thing. Jacob is engaging with Jacob in that moment. Either in that moment, Jacob engaged with God as though he was a person, or he engaged with he's engaging with Laban now as though Laban is God, a god. That's either way. The what Bible program am I using? I am using Logos. And Logos Lampwick is very expensive, and the only reason I am using Logos is because I have had the good fortune to get a bit of a sponsorship from my church, to be very, very clear. But Logos is an incredibly powerful program. Like if I want to, for example, affliction, ongi, is the word here. I want to look that up. So I click look up, and over in tab here, bam, I've got Strong's on this. Poor, afflicted, or humble. This word is used in this way 51 times throughout the Bible, and here are your references. It's right there. If I want, I can just take a given verse. I can say, these 20 years I've been with you, you're eating your little goats, nor have I eaten the rams in your flocks. I can right-click that. I can go, where is it? Oh, I think I have to have a notes pane open. Give me just a sec. I can go boom. I can go, these 20 years I've been with you, you're using your free will goods, I've not been curing, nor have I eaten the rams of your flocks. I can do this. I can go, come on. Maybe if I highlight the verse number. Right click. Yeah, I can go add note. Boom. Yeah. Oh yeah, Logos does have a free version. Yeah, so this is Logos. I can go boom. I'll say, yeah, okay, you don't need me to sell the features of this. But I can go boom. I can go look into the numerology here. Boom. And then I've got that note on that verse. So when I can page through my notes, and then I go, what did I note here? I can go boom. I've got my note. This application is fantastic. And I really, I'm actually really not even getting, I'm not engaging with this application. I'm using it as kind of just a glorified notepad. There is so much more I could and should be doing with Logos. What I really like about it, and this might be a little spicy, what I like about Logos is that it is I have a library of books in here, right? When I wanna buy something that I would normally buy on Kindle, I'll just buy it here instead. So for example, I bought a book on church history recently. Was it 5th edition? Yeah, man, like I'm not necessarily going to bat for their pricing scheme. It's heckin' expensive. It is also a very quality program. I'm not I don't disagree with you necessarily. So like I am Logos lets me curate a library, and maybe this is going to be a bit of a spicy take. Having access to scriptures and the basic study tools should be accessible. Completely agreed. Absolutely 100% agreed. Um the I've got a library of books and sources that I trust. And what I can do with that is I can, and I haven't played around with this too much, but I definitely want to play around with this. I've got a curated library of sources. And when I have a curated library of sources of things that I trust, and I want to jump between them, when I want to, like, when something sticks out to me as something that feels like it was in one of those sources, a super duper useful tool for getting through that is the built-in AI with this program. Is letting me go through the library, again, of sources I trust, that I can verify if the darn thing is hallucinating, that if I can verify if the clanker is having a bad dream, or is just, lying to me. But I've got a curated library here of the things that Renai finds interesting and edifying for his study, that I can let loose an agent or two on to find me the things that I need to find. That is another feature I really like in this Bible study program in Logos here. Yeah, so there's the Logos sales pitch. And again, I agree with you, Lampwick. Like, scripture and basic study tools should really just be readily available to everyone, plain and simple. That is not something that everybody should be able to open up the Bible and have an easy and engageable way to study it. No disagreement there. And I'm not going to go to bat for any of Logos's pricing schemes. I am, however, going to sing its praises for just how powerful of a program this is for a lot of other engagements as well. Given that I am doing prep for a practice sermon, I really should be engaging the sermon prep feature of the Logos Bible study software that my church has been so wonderful to scholarship me with. Yeah, I also wish more churches would have basic hermeneutics classes, man. My church doesn't have that. Our men's ministry pastor rather is doing is flagging dorks like me who hyperfixate on scriptures and giving them opportunities to kind of cut their teeth on things like devotionals or cut their teeth on things like a practice sermon. So actually we do have, I shouldn't say we don't have basic hermeneutics. We do have resources and basic hermeneutics, but it's not like, well, that's a note for me. I want to get more of my church body engaged with basic hermeneutics. Thanks you, JB. I realize that is something I can work towards myself. What church body? My church body. Let's be very expressly clear. More engaged. And maybe that's something I could do myself. Maybe that's something I could put together. Maybe that's something that I could put together to get more people in my church interested in Renai Paragonic even. It all comes together. It's almost like this thing I put together as an express outlet for God-honoring endeavors can be used for God-honoring endeavors. Church offers something like that, but it's a super intensive course that lasts 3 years and is basically seminary. Yeah, that is my goodness gracious. That's not something I think someone in the laity is going to be jazzed about engaging with, I would say. Certainly. My goodness. Wow. Yeah, no, we don't... I should look into the specific programs we have for hermeneutics. We do have really, really good programs, like fantastic programs for engaging with faith as something that has a active effect on your life. We've got a program. I'll say the name. Whatever. We've got a program called Rooted, which is it's kind of two-parted. It is one. really getting at the deep questions of your faith, really holding your faith up to scrutiny, engaging the thoughts, engaging the things that went on in your life, engaging those and getting a better understanding of your faith. And then after you've done that, the program turns around and goes, okay, how are you going to live that out? So you've landed on, I do see a frog lurk. That is for sure, Lampwick. There is a sheep here, that bears her name. But all that is to say, like, part one is, okay, you understand why you personally believe the things you believe, and then part two is, so what are you, like, I love it so much, is what are you going to do about it? Like, how are you going to live out this faith that you have come into an understanding of? This faith that is personal to you. How are you going to... Oh, man! I should be pipelining my high schoolers into that program. We have that... I should be... Gosh darn it. It was the perfect lesson last week to do that, and I didn't do it. I didn't make the business pitch of, hey guys, this lesson that I just taught is 100% our Reddit program. Darn it! Okay, I'll get him next time. The cool thing about sticking with that ministry, the cool thing about loving that ministry is that I'm probably gonna stick with it for a while. Okay. I need to make more sales pitches to the high schoolers to get them engaged in other programs at the church. That's why I'm there, man, to keep them involved with the church body, to keep them involved with a healthy spiritual body. Oh my goodness gracious. Man, thank you, Lampwick. You have inspired some very fantastic applications of my position and limited authority that I hold at church. You have inspired some fantastic applications. Head up the thing to tell if your church has been on a trajectory that trusts the lady less and less. Oh, that is tragic to hear, my man. I'm really sorry to hear that. I am blessed with a pastor who is like a pastor who is like, he wants to encourage engagement in the laity. He wants to be giving these... He is our men's ministry pastor specifically, so he wants to be giving the men in his care, he wants to be giving them the opportunities to engage. Yeah, no, like legitimately, thank you for the perspective. These are not ideas I would have arrived on musing by myself. Certainly, pointedly not. All right. Which is to say, let's keep on with Jacob here. So Laban has replied to Jacob. Jacob said to his kinsmen, gather stones. They took the stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Now Laban called it... All right. So it's naming time. All right, so Laban called it. What did Laban call it? What did Laban call the heap? So we've made a heap. They are eating there by the heap, which means the negotiations are not short. They have set up a heap of stones. This is judgment, and we are engaging in meals around this. This is a long negotiation. Now Laban called this heap Jagar Sahadutha, the heap of witness. Laban has called this heap what it is. It is the heap of witness. But Jacob called it Galit. Oh. They both called it the heap of witness. But Jacob called it the heap of witness in Hebrew. And Laban called it the heap of witness in Aramaean. Yo, that's history. That tells us that gives us, you know, if you are a person like me, that bring back shared meals as a form of fellowship, amen. If you are a person like me that holds to a strict biblical chronology that says the years in Genesis are the years and that 6 days is 6 days, if you hold to that like I do, and that's a discussion I'm willing to have with folks whenever, but if you hold to that like I do, what we have just seen, and maybe there are earlier things in the text elsewhere, what we have just seen is a clear and stated delineation of the Hebrew language from the Aramean language. Jacob and Laban speak different languages. They have both called this heap the same thing, but they have named it in their own languages, which means from a historian's perspective, if you treat the years as literal years, and again, happy to have that discussion, if you do that, then what we have here is, what we've got is Jacob, what we've got is a clear delineation of a Hebrew as a language from the languages of the surrounding cultures, from Aramean. That's crazy. That's so cool. It's not particular, and I guess, sorry, let's take a step back. I'm done nerding out over the linguistics of this. Let's talk about this on a human level. They have both decided that they are going to give it the name, the heap of witness, but they're doing it their way. They're saying, this is a heap of witness for me. This is a heap of witness for me in my language. It is this heap stands witness to me. This is my heap. And they're both, by naming it in their language, they are both naming it. They are both saying, this is my witness. Oh, freaking K. All right. I mean, and she's not going to break my streak, because when I go to break, once we finish this passage, I will not let these guerrilla tactics break my 26 watch streak. I will not let this woman's proficiency in guerrilla streaming break that streak. It is, I know I'm supposed to avoid pride, but it is just a point of pride at this point. Anyway. This heap is a witness to you and me this day. Therefore it was named Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, may the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from another. So, therefore it was named Gilead. Laban said, okay, so the text agrees with Jacob. The Bible, the narrative, agrees with Jacob. Crazy how the Bible agrees with Jacob over Laban. Working with her stream muted on my phone. Yeah. I have a tendency to throw my phone across the room when I start streaming, so that it's not vibrating, and it will stay there until I go to break. And Mizpah, they named it Mizpah, the watchtower. Huh. Good man. Yeah. Okay, man. Mizpah, keep watch, spy, look on. Yep. Okay, watchtower. Is that Mishpah? What's the root? Shpa. What's miss though? Can I? Because I think miss. I'm not going to be able to navigate this right now. I'll figure that out later. You're about to have to go and eat lunch, so you will be absent. That is more than fine, sir. It has been fantastic having you here, and honestly, it is my hope 2 weeks from now that if you're available at this time, instead of having you in chat, I can just be chatting with you instead. That would be the hope. Anyway, that I think is the model of Rainai Paragonic streams going forward. Is I've got a lot of really good friends whose opinions I want to talk about, and we're all streamers, so why not talk about those things on stream? I was asking, how's work you doing while your wife is gone? You should do those tasks. You should get those things done, Lampwick. All right, let's get through this. May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from the other. So they named it Mizpah. It is named Mizpah, the Watchtower. And because we have named it the Watchtower, so the Lord is watching this covenant. So they both the thing that Laban and Jacob can both agree on is that they both believe in Jacob's God. Both Jacob and Laban believe in Jacob's God as a being that can watch over this agreement. They maybe can't agree with each other, but we can find agreement when we are referring to this God that we both manifestly are aware is real. And there is certainly something to be said if it, like there is there is certainly maybe something to be said for the manner in which we Christians, who all believe in a much closer concept of God than Laban and Jacob agreeing, that we Christians could maybe take something away from this. Just a thought. Maybe there is a lesson to be learned there. Maybe there's an application there that, hey, we all believe in the same God, so let's make agreements before him. The uniqueness of a covenant between God and man is that one side will never break it. Amen to that. The Abrahamic covenant, man. The comfort that I, a human being in the year of our Lord 2026, get out of the promise that God made to Abraham. I'm gonna show my complete failure of biblical chronology here, but three to 4,000 years ago, the comfort that I get out of that promise this day, because I understand, one, that God always keeps his promises, and two, that is a promise for me. And there's my I've tipped my hand on my covenant theology. The comfort I get out of that, the comfort I get from engaging with that promise. And not only did God walked through it twice, exactly. Abraham fell asleep. Abraham fell asleep and had scary dreams. And God goes, "Oh, Abraham, what am I gonna do with you?" And God walks the blood path covenant twice. God walks the covenant for himself, and he walks it for Abraham, which is to say, for his name's sake. It's so good, man. I love that context. It is absolutely amazing. May the Lord watch between you and me when we were absent one us. See, God is witness between you and me. Laban said to Jacob, "Behold this heap, and behold the pillar which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness that I will not pass by this heap for you to harm, and you will not pass by this heap and this pillar for me to harm." Okay, now we're down to brass tacks. Now we're down to the practical, right? Now we are down to, hey, bud, let's talk about hurting. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna hurt me, right? Laban has come into this. Laban has invoked the name of Jacob's God, and now Laban is getting everything he can out of this. Laban's realized that there is not much he can do, but he's gonna get everything he can. And Laban sees, to borrow from Daniel, and I do this a lot, Laban sees the writing on the wall. Laban sees that Jacob is prosperous and Jacob is doing well, and Laban has decided, look, man, Laban knows he's wronged Jacob. Laban's getting everything he can out of this agreement by making it seem like they're on equal footing. He says, we will not harm each other. Is milking it. Laban's getting everything he can out of this because he understands that he's not going to win. And then he continues, the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor and the God of their father judge between us. And then, yeah, I love it, man. I love language. When I say goodbye to someone, I am saying a contracted, God be with you. When I say adios, muchachos, I am saying to God, my friends. It's God be with ye. Adios is to God. It's just baked in, man. It's just baked in. And it's great. God be with you. To God. Adios. The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. So Laban goes, all right, man. Look, Laban's gone, hey, Jacob, he's the God of Nahor. Jacob. Like I'm saying Nahor's my dad. Like I'm saying that we have the same God here. I'm saying that the God of your family, at least in this case, Jacob, is the God of my family. That's what we're coming to agreement on. Jacob swore by the fear. I'm curious. The fear here is trembling, dread, fear. So Jacob, and that's really, really interesting. Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob is still relying on God as the God of Isaac. Hands are shaking with hunger, so you need to get some food. Want to stay around? Yeah, man, take care of yourself, brother. Take care of yourself. This, like, if you want to come back and catch the rest of this, it's gonna be like 10 minutes probably. And it's gonna be on YouTube and Twitch. If you really feel like you need the rest of this, thank you for staying by. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the conversation. It's been fan freaking tastic, my man. But take care of yourself, Lampwick, and God bless you. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob still sees God as Isaac's God. Yeah, literally. So, I Lampwick, I am out this week and next. I am out for what would be my next 2 regularly scheduled streams on Thursday and Saturday. All of my streams past that, I think I'm just going to try and be in a voice channel somewhere that folks can drop into. And whether that's in my server or one of the several other servers I'm in, after asking permission from those server owners, that's just where I'm going to be. So all of my streams are open for, I think, going forward are going to be open for collab when freaking ever. But, like, I'd love to pop into one of yours as well. That might be a little harder to schedule. A lot of the times you are going live, I am technically on the clock, and it is difficult to be in voice, but we can get something worked out. Absolutely. So Jacob swore by the fear of his, I would love to be chatting with you, my friend, rather than through a more leggy text interface. So let's get that happening. Jacob still sees God as Isaac's God. Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Jacob didn't even swear on Isaac's faith. Jacob swears by being on the fear of Isaac. Have a blessed rest of your day, brother. Jacob swore by the fear of his father. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain and called his kinsmen to the meal, and they ate the meal and spent the night on the mountain. They spend the night on the mountain. They've offered. Jacob has made this oath. Jacob has made it. Note before his kinsmen. The entire family has witnessed this oath between Jacob and Laban. Early in the morning. Let's see what the note is here. I'm going to say chapter 32:1 in early in the morning. Laban rose, kissed. What? Oh, I see. The chapter division is different here. So the chapter division in the Hebrew Bible is okay, interesting. What is Heb? So yeah, there's a different chapter division, is all the note is saying here. But early in the morning Laban arose and kissed his sons and his daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. So we're finally free. We have Jacob fled from Laban, thought that would be the end of it. And Laban said, "Hold on there, buckaroo. You're not getting away from me before we have one last assurance that we're good." Laban came into this swinging. But I think Laban came into this swinging because that was the negotiating tactic that Laban thought would get him to a favorable arrangement. And the favorable arrangement for Laban is, gosh darn it, God is clearly on Jacob's side. And I'm not winning this. I'm not getting my daughters. I'm not getting my sons. Jacob's God is too powerful for that. But I am going to make darn sure that Jacob doesn't come after me. Because again, Laban knows. Laban knows that he's wronged Jacob. That's so clear. Alright, so let's synthesize our notes from... that's a good place to stop, because now we're picking up on Esau. Oh, boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Am I ready for that? We're picking up on oh man, that'll be a great time to engage with anybody who wants to pop in. All right. Ba-ba-ba. There's power and family. Okay, so we've got 2 post-it notes to consolidate here. Is there anything I want to keep from stream note 1? I don't. Let's see. Jacob is returning. Now we are. Jacob has returned at this point. Jacob negotiated. Jacob's insurance. God reminds Jacob. Jacob stole Laban's heart. I think I might want to start with that. Have stole Laban's heart be point 1. Because that was, stole Laban's heart. Rachel misses God. Right, Rachel misses the point of God. Absolutely. Ba-ba-ba. Jacob has trust issues is definitely a huge one I want to take away. And if we can shorten that to Jacob's trust issues. Absolutely. There's power and family. And let's, like, how much space do we have? Okay. I want to do power and family. That's the witnesses they had. Gotcha. Power in family. I'm good at summarizing things. Like, this is something I am pretty okay at. They both believe in Jacob's God. Absolutely. But Jacob in the same way that Rachel misses God, Jacob misses God. I'm going to know what I meant when I... Right? Yeah, of course I'm going to know what I meant. I wrote these notes. I can shorten like that, and I can expand that. Yeah, okay. Perfect. That's kind of our summary here. So let's go through that real quick to make sure it's coherent and weaves together. So... Jacob stole Laban's heart when he departed. Jacob wounded Laban when he departed without telling Laban that he was taking Laban's daughters and grandsons away from him. Rachel misses the God of Jacob. Rachel isn't on board with that idea. Either because Jacob is a bad communicator, or, as I'm going to argue later in the chapter, Jacob doesn't get God yet. Jacob misses his God too. That's our last point. Rachel steals Laban's household idols. And I think Jacob, what we see underscored here is that Jacob has trust issues. Jacob does not trust the God of his father. When the God of his father says that he is going to do these things, Jacob instead has to make a vow out of it. And Jacob apparently doesn't trust his wife to either A, Jacob doesn't trust his wife enough to explain to her the fullness, I think, of the promises God has given to her, but Rachel also doesn't trust Jacob enough to tell them that she stole the idols. Then when we see the engagement between Jacob and Laban, there is power in their families, right? That is part of how they are contending with each other, is using their families, their kinsmen, as witnesses to their side of the story. The witness of the son... The witness of the son is the witness of the father. Okay. Sometimes we just back into Christological implications here. That needs further study. The witness of the son. Well, that might be just like a point for a sermon. Of the son is the witness. Don't need to capitalize son there. Is the witness of the father. Cancel. Okay. Witness of the son is the witness of the father. Both of these men believe in Jacob's God. They both believe that Jacob's God has the power to watch over this covenant, to watch over this agreement that the two of them have made. They are both of the idea that God has power to enforce what they are saying here. But Jacob Jacob swears on the fear of his father Isaac rather than on God. No cap. Jacob is swearing on and still borrowing from the faith of his father. Jacob believes in the God of Isaac, but he is swearing on the God of Isaac by Isaac rather than on that God himself. That is, and again, I like the one point of summary, if you had to take away from this entire section, is Jacob has trust issues, man. Yeah. Okie doke. I have been yapping something fierce, and if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get great sleep last night, and didn't hydrate, so I need to get my hands on some water and also make sure that I don't lose a watch streak. So I'm going to be right back, or should I say, ba right back. And when we get back, we will be playing some Rakuen. I return. And my ugh. Oh boy, voice. How are we today? Not great, huh? Not fantastic. We're gonna have to take care of you. Alright. That's oh man. It is like using water or drinking some water, engaging that important biological function has put up some dashboard warning lights about the state of my voice right now. Anyway, what were we doing? Oh yes, that is what we were doing. We were playing video game. We were playing Rakuen. That is, I think I've had a realization that I can just kind of do ministry and Bible stuff for the entirety of my streams. That is, I'm gonna have zero problem filling. Let's get that music back on while I actually launch things. I have zero problems. I'm gonna have zero problems actually filling that time if I just start putting some of my prep time for like certain ministry things. If I just start putting that on stream, I can fill an entire freaking stream with like ministry stuff, and I'm gonna have to pray about it a little bit. But like once I finish Rakuen, maybe that's the plan. Maybe I'm not trying to mishmash. Maybe I go live when maybe I do some guerrilla streaming just to play like games and stuff. But maybe the scheduled streams are all just ministry stuff. Huh. Why not, man? Oh, the streamer is talking to himself. Oh boy, oh boy. Having those thoughts. My goodness, Father Evan, welcome on in. You just got to me having some rather interesting. I have just had the musing that once I am done with Rakuen, maybe, just maybe, my streams are going to become less of game things. Yeah, oh, for sure. But like, I'm talking about like, I guess, yeah, it makes sense to talk about stream plans on plans. Maybe, I think once I am done with Rakuen here, I think all of my streams are gonna be, I might just, like, the streams that I schedule on Thursdays and Saturdays might just all be, like, ministry stuff. Because, like, I'm working on right now, like, a practice sermon, Father Evan. A hypothetical sermon that I would give to a hypothetical church, based on a passage that I pick. And it occurred to me that the work I do on that, is very streamable. Is something that I am more than willing to share with people, as I build that out, and something that I, again, can, like, fill time with, my man. So, once I finish this game, I might try a couple weeks of just, like, it being, we do our character Bible studies, and then we do whatever ministry prep Renai is working on that week. Because, like, I can also stream the time that I am spending putting together lessons for the high schoolers at church. That's also something that's, like, super duper streamable. And all of those eventually just get recycled into, will eventually get recycled into videos for the YouTube channel anyway. So, yeah, that's what I arrived at a couple minutes ago, and I'm liking it. I'm gonna pray about it a bit just to be sure that that's not a path that God does not want me going on. But by all indications right now, it feels pretty good, like something I'd like to try. Yeah. Okay, so we're in Rakuen. We have just resolved the terrible tragedy that tore apart Tony and his daughter Christy. And that tragedy was a trauma that Christy suffered in childhood when her brother Benny fell to his death in water and drowned. Tony blamed himself and isolated himself to avoid getting hurt. And Christy, his daughter, understood this as him hating her, because she thought that he had given her the responsibility of watching over her brother, and that she had failed him and he hated her for it. And through going through her memories and understanding a bigger picture and getting the two of them to dialogue with each other, we have kind of healed those wounds and brought that relationship back, both in this colorful dream world that we are inhabiting right now, as well as the real world outside in the hospital. And again, I'm saying real world, but like when I pick things up over here, they come with there are decorations in the hospital lounge right now that I picked up in the what am I saying? That I picked up in the quote unquote dream world here. So there is a certain amount of realness that is narratively happening here, and now we are trying to mend the relationship of Kisaburo, a patient who seems to be struggling with some sort of either schizophrenia or dementia. We're unclear, but it is a fellow who is not necessarily consistent with his own mind, and we're engaging with his story right now. We're helping his wife, Kazuko, I believe, by getting her more tea shop clients. And I'm sure that'll wrap around. Are you looking for Monsieur Bud's afternoon tea? Yes? It's just up these stairs. Enjoy yourselves. There's Monsieur Bud. I didn't get you this job so you could just goof off all day. First the stink bomb, and now these preposterous drawings. Maxwell Howell II, you stop this behavior at once. My name is Lil Buzz. Lil Buzz? What? Why in the... You're acting like a hooligan. Dad, you gotta chill. You're going to be chilling in your bedroom for the next 2 weeks if you don't clean up your act. Getting a little Tim Curry there. But Dad, I'm serious. Nah, we don't want to do Curry. If you mess up one more time, you are grounded. Now, come with me and behave yourself. You have a job to do. Yes, Dad. Dude, I love Lil Buzz. He's a renowned rapper around these parts. Huh. Right. Avant-garde style painting of the Monsieur. A lovely springtime painting having part of the Monsieur's mustache. Part of the Monsieur's mustache. Oh boy. Seems like we got a bit of a narcissist. Wow, Mom, this place is really fancy, isn't it? You're right, dear. Oops. Wow. Well, I've never seen you guys before. Where'd you come from? Are you gonna stay for the Monsieur's afternoon tea? A sugar baby. Yes, Rupert. More food from the kitchen has gone missing. Oh no, what did they eat this time? Only the Monsieur's absolute favorite dish. They can't pull apart I gotta stop, Yes, Sugar Baby, they took the crumble. We must be on high alert until we figure out who and where this food thief is. Who are these outsiders? These folks? They're from, they're my cousins. Cousins? Your cousins? Oh yeah, my cousins. They're totally cool. I've known them my whole life. Well, I guess if they're your cousins, it should probably be okay. But you'd better keep an eye on them. Don't want anything else to get stolen today. Yes, of course, Rupert. Well, Rupert bought that, I guess. Phew, that was close. My name's Sugar Baby. Well, my real name's actually Ethan. Huh. That's a... okay. But everyone calls me Sugar Baby because it's my job to bring people sugar cubes for their tea. You guys aren't from around here, are you? I've never met creatures from across the Great Sea before. Wow. You both look so cool. I mean, look at those arms. Your arms have 5 little arms growing out of the ends of your arms. Those are called fingers, Ethan. And you have brown grass growing out of the top of your head. Brown grass? So cool! So what brings you guys to Monsieur Bud's? We were hoping he might try some of this special tea. It's the best tea in all the forest. Oh, the Monsieur loves new teas. I'll take you to see him right now. Oh, wait. Boogies. Are you okay? Normally, this would be easy, but there's a slight problem. As you can probably tell from what just happened, someone has been stealing food from the kitchen. And until we figure out who the boss thief is, Rupert, he's my boss. The thief is, Rupert, he's my boss, is not going to let anyone near the Monsieur. Sorry, guys. Unless... maybe you guys could help us find the thief? We're short-staffed today, so I bet I could get you guys a job here. You mean we get to work here? In this big mansion? Yeah, it's pretty easy. People ask for tea and you deliver it. Plus you get to eat a ton of free food. Strawberry cake, sandwiches, syllabary jam, you name it. That sounds great. I would love since you're new. I bet since you're new, the Bobs would love to gossip with you. Just do a good job and they'll talk with you and tell you stuff. And maybe, just maybe, that will help us determine the identity of the thief. I bet you could get all sorts of information that way. If you can help us find the thief, I'm sure the Monsieur would drink your tea. What do you say? Will you help us find the thief? I can get you that job, no problem. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah. Okie dokie, come with me. First we gotta ask Rupert if he'll hire you. Hey, Rupert. This had better be important. It is. I have great news. You found the crumble thief? Not quite, but it's still good. You know how Lester and Flora called in sick today? Don't remind me. Today is not the day I want to be short-staffed. Well, worry not, Rupert. My cousins can take their place. Your cousins? I thought they were just visiting. Did they even have any experience with waiting tables or with tea? Do they have any experience? What kind of question is that? Where they came from? They are practically famous for serving tea. Man, Ethan, you're digging me a hole. I don't know. If I'm gonna be able to climb out of, man. Ethan. You are making some assertions that just might not be so, Ethan. So, what do you know about tea? Well, that all depends. What would you like me to tell you about it? Are you serving ceremonial grade matcha or just premium? Do I smell a blend of silver tips and dried sila berries? I certainly hope you're keeping the water temperature at no hotter than 180. I suggest putting out some honey and fresh cream for that Assam you have. And a good choice with the pour. It'll help balance the heaviness of these desserts. Fine. Okay, they can work here. Yay! But if anything goes wrong, I'm holding you accountable, Sugar Baby. I understand. The smaller one can work as a tea server. Take him and show him the ropes. Yes, sir. And since the taller one seems to have an extensive knowledge about tea, I'll have Alfred show her how to assemble the special tea leaf blends. Alfred! Yes, sir. We have a new tea specialist to fill in for Lester. Please escort her to the kitchen and see to it that she knows where all the leaves and ingredients are kept. Yes, sir. Right this way, ma'am. You can do it, Mom. Thanks, dear. Have fun out there. You too. Well, what are you two waiting for? Go get your uniform on and serve that tea. The guests are waiting. Yes, sir. All right. Time to serve us some tea, baby. My room's just up ahead. I'm so excited you get to work here. It's going to be so much fun. Dude, Ethan, you don't know me from Adam, and yet you want to work with me. You want to spend time with me. When I grow a little bigger, I'll get to wear a red bow tie, too. Anyways, go ahead and get changed. I'll meet you back in the servants' quarters. That's the room where Rupert is, and the free desserts. See you soon, my new buddy. New buddy. Avant-garde style painting of the Monsieur. Right? Just the uniform to interact with in here. That is some charming... that's charming. I love that. Alright. Well, you know, I see doors. And I gotta try them. Like that one. Look inside, you know it. Stacks and stacks of powdered white wigs. Guess it's Rupert's room. 25 gold! You won't be needing that, Rupert! Now will ya? Wig whimsy. Why powdered wigs are no longer just for 18th century composers. The dignified bud. 5 easy steps that will take you from uncouth dud to gentle bud. I love that. Nope. Pink men don't bloom. A guide to being the perfect gentle bud. I don't know, man. I think men can bloom. Okay, read these already. It's the same stack. Painting of the Monsieur watching 2 people dance inside of a lighthouse. Interesting. Interesting. Right, how about this door over here? This locked? Nope. NHB concert poster. Ah, this is Little Bud's room. Looks like someone was writing lyrics on the inside cover of this book. Read them? Yes. Tea time, a Lil Bud's remix. Work me to the bone, all day serving scones, and the boss in the white wig don't leave me alone. I got an 18-hour days and they call it overtime. But they're paying me in tea, now that I call a crime. So I'm hanging up my apron, turning in my shoes. From now until the end, I'll be kicking rhymes to you. And to everyone out there, if you're really feeling me, throw your pedals in the air and we be pouring out our tea. Say tea time! We don't want no tea time! Oh my goodness, Lil Buds, you're a musical genius. Oops. What was the other dialogue option? Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Father Evan. Very much appreciated. I am having fun with Rakuen and will continue to do so. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to lift up in prayer for you on your way out. That would be snooping. I can cover you now, or I can cover you at end of stream. How is not to engage you as you're leaving, but I do wanna know how Paul's been. I remember that request from, my goodness, months ago now. And that is a conversation we need to engage in later if you got a deal. But thank you again for stopping by, much appreciated. Ooh, you look sharp. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to be a tea server. To be honest, it's pretty easy. Paul's doing a lot better. Thanks for asking. He's hoping to be able to celebrate Mass. Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. I am glad that he was healed. No prayer request today? All right, I'll throw an extra blessing on the name for you then, Father Evan. Thanks again for stopping by. Really appreciated. You just go around the party and ask the guests if they want tea. If they want tea, blah blah blah. If they like you, I bet they'll tell you stuff that'll help us find the food thief. Exactly. Good. Good. Over here are the different kinds of tea. Pour some into your cup and bring it to them. Easy, right? But remember, you can only carry one cup of tea at a time. And if you bring a guest the wrong tea, you have to come back and try again. Got it? I think so. Why don't you go to practice on Rupert? Bring a cup of his favorite tea. The Sela Berry Special. Oh, and one more thing. See the sink up here? Yep. If you accidentally get the wrong tea and you're still here, you can just pour it out in this sink. Got it. Okay, bring that Sela Berry Special tea. Fuji. Hey there. How are you? Me, I'm good. Woke up this morning and brushed my Skybud petals. Ate a traditional Skybud breakfast. Read a book on Skybud history. You know, typical things that a typical Skybud would do. Good. I'm good. Oh, hey there. Is that pink paint running down your back? Oh, so you like asking questions about things. I love things. That's great. Things are great. Questions are totally great. It's just, it kind of looks like there's a pink paint on your back. Oh no, that's not paint, that's lotion. Pink lotion, you know, for my petals. All Skybuds use it. Oh, hey there. Alright, man. Don't really know what game you're playing. But, Alright, anyway. Okay, I can't go back that way. Sink for disposing liquids. Let's just check out the environment a little more, because this game loves to hide things everywhere. Lovely through my painting, containing part of the Monsieur's mustache. Alright, we need Sela Berry Special, which I'm going to assume is in this spot. Rose Assam. No. This one, then. Apricot Vanilla. No. Then it's got to be this one. Sela Berry Special. A rare white tea mixed with fragrant dried Sela berries. Pour a cup of Sela Berry Special? Yes. You are now carrying a cup of the Sela Berry Special. Rupert! What's now? This had better be important. Is this the Sela Berry Special you brought me? Delicious. Yay, you did it! Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to tend to some important business. Sugar Baby, Fuji! I'm heading to the party rooms. I'll be there if you need me. Good luck, and stay out of trouble. Yes, sir? You're all ready. The party's being held in the rooms to your left. Now, get out there and serve some tea. All right. Let's do it. I trust that the buns are warm this time. Yes, sir, Mr. Rupert. Very warm buns. Good, because we don't serve cold buns here. Cold buns. Yeah. You there. What are you doing over there? Uh-oh. I'm out of here. Wait, what did you do? Get back here now! What, the crumble? No! The tea party will be ruined! Oh, man. Rupert lost it. I can just, like, take this down, right? Boy doesn't even have commentary on this. Anything under here? They didn't, surely they didn't let me walk under here for no reason, right? Can I get you any tea today? I have plenty of tea right here, thank you. I do, however, wish someone would refill the dirt bowl. I mean, who doesn't like a bit of dirt in their tea now again? Dirt? Dirt. Can I get you any tea today? Mom says I'm too young for tea, but that's okay. I like a cake. I only like cake anyway. Strawberry cake is my favorite. Well, can I bring him some strawberry cake then? You are looking positively on pink. Can I get you any tea today? Oh, tea server, I'm looking to try something bold. Oh dear, not this again. Excuse me? How bold do you need to be, Nettie? I mean, you're already wearing a hat that has flowers on it. What's wrong with flowers? My dear, we are flowers. Your point? Oh, that gives me a fantastic idea. Tea server, could you please bring me some tea that has some sort of flowers in it? Goodness. Oh, don't worry about Rupert. He loses wigs all the time. But it's okay. He's got like 50 of them. Alright, so we want to bring some tea that has flowers in it. As well as some strawberry cake, if we can. Light, fresh strawberry cake topped with light whipped cream. Okay, but I can't take it. Like 3-tiered tray covered with... The party's being held in the room to your left. Now, get out there and serve some tea. Can I check in with Mom? Door is locked. Okay. Which of these is a floral tea? I think this was in Assam with Rose, right? No, not that. This, I think, was in Assam. Rose Assam, a taboo lemon, black tea, and rose petals. Not for the faint of heart. Absolutely. That's what she's after. Can I dash dance with this? Alright. Nettie. Oh, did you bring me something bold? Please enjoy. Oh, this is just perfect. The aroma, the subtle sweetness, it's so taboo. Disgusting. Oh, Minerva, live a little. We have cousins who are roses. Such good tea, and such a delightful tea server you are. You're too generous with praise, Nettie. Don't give him a big head now. Although, this child is worlds better than Maxwell. Maxwell? Don't you mean Lil Buds? Ugh. What, is that what that little hooligan is calling himself nowadays? Lil Buds? He's a hooligan. End of story. His father was kind enough to get him a job working here, but the child doesn't appreciate it. He runs around playing practical jokes on folks, putting frogs in teapots, and drawing crass things on the walls. If it were up to me, that child would be sent away to a boarding school in the land of the cave buds. Okay, he wants strawberry cake, which we can't get to him. Okay. Refill the dirt bowl. Well, that's not, I think, in my capacity right now. Okay, all good there. How about you? Can I get you some tea? Any tea today? Oh, I'm quite full at the moment. No, the tea was absolutely delicious, though. The buns, on the other hand, were a bit on the cold side. Alright, can I keep on going this way, then, now that I've served everybody tea over here? Chocolate cake adorned with... I can go for some German chocolate cake right about now. For sure, your cake topped with light whipped cream. I'm telling you, something fishy is going on around here. Last night I heard noises coming from the kitchen. Weird crashing noises. As if someone were going through the pots and pans. Can I get you any tea today? No, thank you. I'm quite content with these little sandwiches. Okay. Dude, once your blood's cut... Examine each unique piece of Monsieur Bud-themed artwork. I have gotten a Steam achievement. Can I eat any tea today? Oh, no. I'm only interested in the desserts. Actually, you okay? I had 3 donuts. Ooh, that's a lot of donuts. And half an apple pie. Half a whole pie? Cheese plate, a box of chocolates, 3 more donuts, and a hamburger. Oh my gosh, half those aren't even desserts. They have hamburgers here? You gotta help me, man. Desmond is not okay. I'll try my best. Is there something I can get for you? Well, I think I'm in pain because I eat too much fatty food. You have a tea that would help cut the fat a bit? You know, like balance the heaviness out? I got it. Mom said that pu'er tea helps balance out the heaviness of desserts. Yeah, pu'er tea. That's what I need. Bring me some of that. Please. Didn't know my pedals could stretch like this. Fuji? What are you doing? Fuji? That's a reminder to myself. Alarm going off. What a delightful pianist. He plays with so much emotion. Oh, I love the hand motions there. This music is so good. Literally when I'm playing this game. Friendly little bud. Hey, you're working here now too? Yeah, it's my first day on the job. Welcome aboard. One warning though. This place is weird. What do you mean? You'll see. Okay. Another one of those. About time. Someone came to see my order. Celestia was not nearly strong enough for me. I'm looking for a black tea, perhaps something with fruit. Okay. What is Fuji doing, and can I talk to him? I want... He's tripping all of my, Hello, Rupert? I trust that you're enjoying the Monsieur's special tea party? Wow, is that the Monsieur? He's really big. Can I help you? Can I meet the Monsieur? I'm afraid not. As you may know, a thief has been stealing food from the Monsieur's tea parties. This is a matter of grave importance. After all, if this thief were able to steal the prize jewel of the party, the pecan pull-apart syllabary crumble... We crumble? Sir, everything is running smoothly, no need to fret. This is a disaster. As I was saying, if the thief is able to steal something so important, who knows what they're capable of? So I'm very sorry, but I can't allow anyone to see the Monsieur until this criminal is found. It's just too dangerous. Understood, Rupert. I'm telling you, something fishy is going on around here. Last night, okay, someone was going through the pots and pans. Is she going to be a tea target? Come on. Controller, there we go. AJTA? No thank you, I'm just analyzing the pieces of art on these walls. Do you think the Monsieur longs to dance the way those two are dancing in the lighthouse? Maybe. Anything is possible with the expression in art. No. Candy cat puret. Earthly puret blended with sweet maple candy cat mushrooms. Absolutely. Let's get that to Desmond. Desmond, man, I'm coming. Don't worry. I've got your team, man. I can help. I can make this help, my man. Bring me some puer tea? I need it. I need it! Please enjoy. Oh, sweet relief. Desmond's gonna be okay. Successfully serves tea to a guest. Wow, now I know how Monsieur Bud must feel. What do you mean? Well, rumor has it that back in the day when the Monsieur wasn't yet such an impressive size, he was dating one of the irregulars here, a bud named Minerva. Minerva? She's cranky, wears a hat with a black bow. I think she's in the other room right now. Anyways, the Monsieur ate so much and grew so big and so tall that he could no longer see or hear her. And that was the end of that relationship. Gluttony ruins relationships, everybody. You heard it here first. Okay, what was it you wanted again? Good, strong black tea. Something perhaps with fruit in it. So in a somme, maybe? No. Apricot vanilla. Bright player seemingly represented with slate vanilla black tea. Apricot is a fruit. And vanilla, and black tea is black tea. So, I can only imagine that that's what we're after here. Oh, did you bring me a Dorlando? A good fruit-flavored black tea? Offer the guest your current tea, yes. Please enjoy. Yes, that's exactly what I was looking for. Perfect. Tea server, you look like a bright-eyed young man. Tell me something, will you? Okay. Is it just me, or is there an apple lurking here? An apple? Yes, an apple. An apple who has clearly painted himself pink in an attempt to look like a skybud. But he's not fooling me. Is Dorlando talking about his apple conspiracy theories again? He's an apple. Sure, and I'm a banana. Ah! Alright, Fuji, we need to have a chat. How do I get back to Fuji? There's gotta be a way back there. There it is. There's our gap. That's how we get up there. Come on. Yes! Yes! Oh no, I can't. Is that... There's gotta be a way to... Come on, please. I want nothing more than to talk to Fuji right now. You like, game. Come on, please. He's so funny. This is such a good bit. Alright, let's head this way. Let's rob this place blind. I mean, see if there's anything in here that needs our attention. I don't steal. I'm a good Christian boy. You did a great job today. Time to turn in. You guys can sleep in my room tonight. Gee? Oh, hey there. Okay, we already had this dialogue. I'm not going to read through it again. Never mind. Everyone told me you did a great job today. How was your day? It was great fun. I've never seen so many tea supplies in all my life. They had barrels upon barrels of tea leaves, pieces of fruit and chocolate, dried flowers and herbs, bottles of essence from all over the world, fresh cream. It was fantastic. Alfred let me invent several new blends. 'Twas a pleasure, ma'am. You are without a doubt a true tea specialist. Awesome. Love that. Everyone told me you did a great job today. Ready for bed? Sounds good. I'm exhausted. All right. Can I go this way now? No, still locked. Okay. Have to talk to you. If you're ready, I'll get you set up for the night. We're ready. Actually, let's just make sure that we didn't miss anything. Ah. Okay. Which of these doors was locked before? This one? Okay. Actually, hi guys. You can sleep here for the night. But where will you sleep? I can stay with Rupert tonight. He's a little stressed out, but I think I'd benefit from some company anyway. You guys find out about anything about the food leaf yet? I've got a few leads. Oh, that's great. I knew I could count on you. Well, then get some rest and we'll continue our investigation in the morning. It's time to sleep. Okay. All set? I'm good. Good night, dear. Good night, Mom. Aw. What the heck? What the heck? Mom, did you hear that? I did. It sounds like it came from the kitchen. I think we should go investigate. Okay. Little Buds is absent from his room. Everybody seems to be absent from their rooms. Let's double check that this door opens, or is locked still. Good. The kitchen is right here, yes. Mom, what was that? I don't know, dear, but it sounds like it was coming from up ahead. Should we keep going? We gotta press on if we want to find out who the thief really is. So true. Is the thief Monsieur Bud? That's the biggest refrigerator I've ever seen. Oh, what is in there? I don't know, dear, but you'd better stay close to me. Yeah. Goodness gracious. Monsieur, have you been sleep eating again? So it was the Monsieur all along. Mystery solved! I knew you guys could do it. Well, I suppose that's a huge weight off my shoulders. Nice. That's funny. Ah, you're here. We're all delighted you could make it, especially the Monsieur. Oui, thank you! In exchange for helping us solve our little problem. Maxwell. Sorry, Dad. We would love to repay you somehow. As you know, we've all sorts of specialty items from around the world, so just say the word and it's yours. Well, there is one thing we'd really like. Oh? Would the Monsieur try a sample of our tea? It's actually our friend Kazuko's tea, but it's the best tea in all the forest. The best tea, you say? Well, I find that incredibly difficult to believe. I will permit this request. Pending one thing. I would need to sample the tea first. You know, for safety reasons. Oh, but of course. We have plenty to share. Well, in that case, I should be able to permit your request. Where is this tea of which you speak? Right here, sir. You pour Rupert a cup from the gourd of midnight tea. Is he gonna lose his wig? That flavor, it's so good! Oh, man. Don't worry, this happens a lot. He'll come back once he composes himself and grabs another wig. He has more powdered wigs. He has more powdered wigs than even Beethoven. Where was I? Ah, yes, this tea is very high quality indeed. You have my permission to share it with Monsieur Bud. Oui, new tea for me! Yes, Monsieur, a very delightful blend from... Where is this tea from again? It's from Kazuko at the Midnight Tea Shop. It's from the Midnight Tea Shop, sir. I love it! We must get more! Amazing! The Monsieur likes it. Needless to say, we are all very impressed. Rest assured, we will be doing lots of tea from this Midnight Tea Shop. Yay! Thank you so much. Thank you. You and your mother are both welcome here anytime. Thank you, Rupert. I'm really gonna miss you guys. You're like the cousins I never had. The cousins you never... The cousins that are my cousins, my real cousins. So don't be strangers, okay? Come visit us anytime. You can stay in my room. Oh, and here's a little present, something to remind you of the Skylands. Celestial Marble. Yes! Marbles for Sue, my favorite character in this whole freaking game. Love Sue. I want to make Sue... I want Sue to be happy, darn it. Amazing. Sometimes the Monsieur has to replace a little country for him. I don't think his hearing is that good, though. Either that or he's just terribly offbeat when he sways the music. It's probably the latter. Splendid party, wouldn't you say? I think my favorite thing is the Monsieur Bud artwork. He has just such striking features. Striking features, don't you think? I'm telling you, one of the tea servers here is an apple. Oh, give it a rest, Orlando. You give it a rest. Do you hear? Minerva still has the hots for Monsieur Bud. Now that she's heard about his little midnight second problem, she's doing everything she can to get him on a diet. If he eats less, he might shrink back to down to size that will let him see and hear her. Bud gets shorter on diets. Duh, you didn't know that? When we overeat, we just grow all over the place. If I keep eating as much as I do here, I'll be a regular beanstalk. Cool. Thank you so much for all your help. Things are back to normal, as it were. The chefs are making more crumble as we speak. Oui, crumble? Uh-huh. Yes, sir. There will be more crumble very soon. Ah, yes, so I was saying you're always welcome here. Delightful party, wouldn't you say? Though I heard the chefs are speaking about a newer low-calorie menu for reasons I am unaware of. Well, that might be better for our pollen. Low-calorie foods are not why I come here. Well, If the Monsieur is going to become fit again. I knew something fishy was going on. All those pots and pans playing in the middle of the night? Who knew all this? That was the Monsieur having a midnight snack. Do you think the Monsieur longs to dance the way those two are dancing in the lighthouse? Maybe. You never know. I long to dance, as David danced before the Lord. I heard the new tea was so good that Rupert's wig flew off. What else is new? Maybe if you drank it, Minnie, your foul temper and bad manners would fly off. The nerve of that bud, continuing to eat throughout the night. Why even have tea parties if you're too big and tall to hear any of the guests? Oh, Nettie, just admit it. You want the Monsieur to shrink back down so you can date him. I want him to shrink back down again, because at this rate he's going to grow right through the roof. Ah, love, so powerful a force it is. Cold buns. Cold buns are bad buns. So now that everyone knows the Monsieur is a snacking problem, I decided it shouldn't hide any more from my little secret either. You're still wearing paint? It's not paint, it's lotion. Wait, what, an apple? What are you trying to say? No, my secret is that I don't like scones. I'm rather looking forward to the new shipment from the Midnight Tea Shop. I've sampled Kazuto's teas and it's absolutely splendid, wouldn't you say? Why, yes, indeed, Alfred. Oh, the tea is empty. Gasp! How terrible. Still locked. Hey, little buds, you here? Nope. A bust of unidentified, unknown individual. Interesting, interesting. I wonder if Monsieur Bud has a... people have been named like one-to-one with their hospital counterparts, so I don't think Monsieur Bud has a hospital hospital counterpart. But that'd be interesting. Not really. Thanks for your help here. Welcome to Monsieur Bud is an incredibly one-dimensional character who kind of seems to me more like a narrative device than anything else. But the fact that he has been sleep snacking in the kitchen is reminiscent of the fact that we have been getting things stolen from the kitchen in the hospital as well, which is what triggers that line of thought. Man, the music in this game rocks. It's just like such a vibe. Syllabarius? Some sticks? What's in here? A treasure chest. You found a flower marble. Heck yes! More chances to talk to Sue. How I love talking to Sue. She's great. She's amazing. She's imaginative. She's precious, is what Sue is. I will never not do this. Whoa, where do you come from? You're like giants. Right, his onion is stinky. His onion roommate has a ayin ra, a bad eye. He thinks everything is... He rolled a 1. You did that on purpose. I told you to put more points into luck. Well, but points in luck shouldn't affect the physical die roll. Or I guess you could maybe use a luck stat to modify the roll on the die, and that could be what's being referenced there. Can you tell I play a lot of D&D? I play a lot of D&D. I think that's it for up here. Let's go down. I think we have the materials to build a pickaxe. Hey, Sue. Sue! Oh, hi. What are you doing? Trying to remember where I was supposed to meet my friend. I have to find her. She needs me. See ya. I want to talk to you more, Sue. Sue, it feels like you are being set up as our deuteragonist. Is that how you say that? Deuteragonist? And I would like to talk to you, Sue. I just want to talk more with Sue, honestly. She's a fascinating character, and she's precious. Welcome back, guys! What can I do for you? Pickaxe. One moment, please. And now we've learned Rock Smash. Here's your new pickaxe. Boy, I sure can't wait for Star Night this year. I'm going to use my knowledge of physics to maximize my fun. Beanbag toss? Why, that's just a fancy term for calculating the surface area and velocity to use gravity in your favor. Sure, man. Was this always here? Okay. Got it. Tony's room goes here now because Tony lives in the village. Oh. And my room's in the inn. I see. We're saying things. Let's break that rock. What do we got? Onion air freshener. I can't remember if Morito's Cave had Rock Smash in it. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Emerald Beanstalk Sapling. Fun wall stickers. Awesome. This is going to connect places. Yes, it is. I mean, duh. That's kind of what happens when you open pathways, you connect places. What's got your goat, son? I can't believe I'm missing the ceremony. Ceremony? Yeah, the signs are celebrating Wooden Sign Day. They're singing and dancing. We discussed issues that affect wooden signs, like mold, termites, culture. Why are you missing it? The other signs made me stand guard so no one would interrupt them. In all honesty, I think it's because they don't like me. They make fun of me because I still carry a blanket around with. Well, technically it's not a blanket, it's a giant purple beanbag. Aw, that's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. You're right. If a wooden sign still carries around a security beanbag, then is he any less of a wooden sign? Definitely not. And now that I've mentioned my beanbag, I feel very weird without it. I bet the other signs are going to try to cut it up or something. No! Oh, I would feel so sad! Ah, there. I'll help you. How about I help you get it back? Wait, really? You would do that for me? Of course! Where is it? In a treasure box inside the cave that I'm supposed to be guarding. I'll do it! Thank you so much. You know what? And with that noble quest on our docket, I'm going to go ahead and save our game. And shut us down here. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's pop right back by Bible study real quick. Bring up our Bible, or bring up Bible study. So, just as recap, as we went through Jacob here, Jacob stole Laban's heart. He wounded Laban, even though Laban was wounded by Jacob's actions. Even we can argue that Laban may have deserved some amount of wounding, but Laban is coming at this from a woundedness. Rachel misses God when she steals Laban's household idols. And I think that is downstream of Jacob's trust issues. Jacob very clearly does not seem to trust the promises of the God of his father, such that he is swearing vows. And it seems, even if he does not have the trust to communicate what he knows about his God, the promises of his God, to Rachel. So Rachel takes Laban's household idols instead. There is power. We know there is power in family. These men, when they had their conversation, when they had their discussion, they were calling their kinsmen, their family, as witnesses. But even after that, when they were after they have determined that they weren't going to try and use their family to determine the wrongdoing, both of them believe in the power, at the very least, of Jacob's God. They believe that Jacob's God is God Almighty, is a God that... They don't believe that he is God Almighty necessarily. They do believe that he is a entity capable of watching over their covenant, and making them keep their covenant. And finally, Jacob, throughout this entire thing, when he makes that oath before God with Laban, he swears on the fear of his father Isaac. He swears on Isaac's faith to God, not on his own faith to God. Cool. All right, all my summary out still makes sense. Awesome. So with that, let's head on back out here. That was a fantastic study. I really feel like we pulled out some very, very good insights. And also, I'm having a blast with Rakuen. I'm having a blast making things better. Oh my goodness gracious. It's so nice. It's a game that reminds me, that shows what we're after. That shows that kingdom building, shows that desire to help the alien, the orphan, and the widow, the downtrodden, the people on the edges of society, which God tells to Israel time and time again. Rakuen feels like a game very much about that. But yeah, that's what we've got. So for everyone that stopped by and everyone else out there, I wish you all a blessed day. If you join me in prayer on the way out. Heavenly Father, thank you as always for this time together on the modern miracle that is the internet. Thank you, God, for the connections that this has allowed us to forge. Thank you for the conversations about faith that this has allowed us to have. God, it is so good to be able to be in community with other human beings over things we share an interest in. And God, the best community, the community I love the most is when we are in community over your word and we are talking about, we are walking through, we are working out with fear and trembling, in some senses, the instruction manual for life you've put in front of us. Thank you, God, for all of my friends that were able to stop in. Thank you for, I hope each and every one of them has a blessed day, and Lord, I would like to, for those of them that are in the faith, I would like to bless you in their names, God. God, as we are going throughout our day today, as we are going throughout our week, as we are going throughout our lives, Lord, help us to be ever mindful of you. Help us to be seeing the good in the creation you've placed us in, and help us, Lord, to be walking out our faith in you and spreading good, building the kingdom of the creation, restoring the goodness in creation, God. Lord, I thank you so much for everything, for life, for the ability to engage on stream like this, God, just for the fantasticness that is the life you have given me. Lord, I pray these things in the name, or through your Holy Spirit within me, imputed their righteousness by the death and resurrection of your Son, Jesus Christ, in whose mighty name we commend these prayers to you, the Father, such that if they are your will, they be done. Nope, not that. That's the wrong expression. That's the right expression, and by expression I mean prop. It's been great. Thank you, everyone. You will not catch me. You will not catch me next week, because I am going to be up in the north being torn apart and put back together at a men's retreat, but which I am helping to lead up. But you will see and hear from me, and hopefully, I'm hoping, many friends, when we pick up streaming a week after that on Thursday, May. Let's try and do this. He says, opening up a calendar because he does not have a brain for adding 7 to things a couple times. Thursday, May 8th is 7th. Thursday, May 7th is when you will next hear from your boy, Renai Paragonic, at 6 p.m. Central Time. And I'm excited to try a couple new things with stream format. But until then, this has been Renai Paragonic, and I'm wishing you all a Paragonic Renaissance.